And we are live. Excellent. So we are running Glisten, Life on the Beat. This is with our the Mongoose second edition rules. I have some great players with us for Traveler May Day celebration for this weekend. I've got a lot of fun players. I'm looking some old, some new, some I know, some I don't know. So this is going to be a lot of fun to play for these excellent people. We'll do some quick introductions around. I am Matt McLeod. I'm the creator of Lurking Fears. We're a fairly large gaming group that operates out of like the north central area of the United States. You'll see us a lot of bigger cons like Gen Con and Origins. We have like about 140, 150 games scheduled for Origins, like almost 25 GMs. Got a lot of Traveler on the docket as well, so we're really excited. But we mostly run grimdark and horror games like Call of Cthulhu and stuff like that. That's usually our meat and potatoes. But we're excited to be running some Traveler and like some Paranoia and other games like that as well at Origins. So we're excited for that. One thing you'll be able to see run at Origins is I will be running part 1 and part 2 on Mysteries on Arcturus Station, the one that Seth Krakowski rewrote from the original. Very excited to run that. Good friends with Seth. We actually we were the play testers for him for that scenario. So when he wrote it, he sent it by us and had us kicking around. We gave him a few ideas and it's published and out and ready to play. It's a super fun clue who done it kind of a deal. Really fun scenario. But yeah, enough of me. Rick, please introduce yourself and who you'll be playing today.
Today I'm going to be playing Punch. I believe he's a beat cop on Glisten. Yeah, and I've been playing probably since like 1980, I guess.
Excellent.
The old school little black books.
Nice. Guy who honestly doesn't really need an introduction, but I'll introduce him anyway. Greg, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you. I'm Greg. I'm one of the co-organizers of May Day Celebration. I also run the Virtual Traveler group on Facebook and the One Shot Saturdays. I try to run virtual games monthly, at least once a month. With virtual cons sort of coming to an end, I guess that's thank goodness with the end of the pandemic. There's not as many opportunities to run virtual games in organized play, although Gen Con is going to have some virtual stuff in August. There's a guy named Ryan Finn out of Canada who runs Impossible Realities. That's also a hybrid con with live play and virtual play. So if you're aware of any cons that have a hybrid or virtual opportunities, let me know. I'm happy to offer Traveler games. And I thank Matt for being a GM today, and I thank all you guys for coming to play and helping us celebrate Traveler this weekend.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're glad to be here playing as well. It's so much fun. Rob G, you want to introduce yourself, please?
Hi, I'm Rob. I'm some random guy in London. I am playing Beaker. I guess I played Traveller for 35 years or something around that since the early 80s. I run a game on Saturdays these days.
Might be AFK for a moment, so I'll just say hi everybody. I'm Rod. I'm teaching English here in Spain. Got back into the hobby of playing role-playing games online during lockdown and enjoying a number of Traveller campaigns mostly, but open to anything else.
Excellent. Thank you. Yeah, if you need to go AFK, yeah, absolutely no problem. There is a private chat. If you look all the way over to the right of your StreamYard screen, you can message in, kind of like Greg already has done. Rob G, anything else you want to add? Sorry.
No, really, that's it.
Excellent. Scott.
Yeah, just gamed a long time. Traveler back in the 80s. Got back into some online conventions recently. And mostly I'm doing D&D and Mothership in a couple of campaigns right now. Mothership's fun. Good system, really enjoyable.
Yeah.
So, and I'm in Washougal, state of Washington.
Nice.
Near Portland, Oregon.
Excellent. Anthony?
By the way, Clearly, you can hear Scott, but I couldn't. I could see the thingy moving
Huh?
and you talking, but I couldn't hear it.
That is
Yeah, I
odd.
think Rod couldn't hear Rob G either, right? Because Rob was
right.
still talking when Rod
Yeah.
started talking. So I think he's having
Rod
trouble
R, do
hearing.
you want to come out and come back in? Maybe that might Rod R come out. The guy who's playing
I'll try that.
Carlos. Yeah, see if that'll pop in. Our last one is Anthony. If you want to pop in and mention and talk about yourself.
Yeah, so down in Perth in Western Australia, it's the middle of the night here, so I'm on the coffee. Been to a been
I
to
grew
a
up in
birthday
Perth.
party earlier tonight. But yeah, I'm quite new to Traveller. Started middle of last year, and been running a game down here for a group of friends, and out of a little Dungeons and Dragons guild that operates out of a pub. So. Yeah, but really loving the game and loving the community and everything online. So thought I'd get involved.
Excellent.
Nice.
Thanks for jamming.
Yeah, well, welcome from down under, I guess.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you. A lot of classically trained traveler players here today. I'm a little nervous. I'm not gonna lie. My traveler history. When I was first introduced to it, I didn't know what to do with it yet. It was the little black books, and I was playing like Star Wars D6 and like Marvel superheroes. When I was first introduced to Traveler, and I looked at it and I was like, man, there's a lot of math in this, and I just started. It was just a little too crunchy for me to grab on, my young teenage mind, but I knew I really liked the idea of it. And then like fast forward like years later, I'm like early to mid 20s, already had a kid, and like a friend of mine who was ex-Navy, seems to be a lot of ex-military, especially ex-Navy, love Traveler, introduced me to it through GURPS, and I was playing like a long campaign in GURPS Traveler, and I could grasp it much easier then, playing GURPS Traveler, a whole lot of fun. And then I could reach back into the little black books and grok what was going on in the little black books. And then finally, Mongoose came out with their stuff, and then Mongoose Second Edition, which it's just become progressively easier for me to play and run as a GM. Super fun game. Really cool. So yeah, this is a game I've had a lot of experience with over my gaming career as well. Through different systems. Again, I don't know about you guys, but it seemed to me like GURPS Traveler had like the best background material. It may not have been the best system, but man, they dove deep into the background. I felt like I got more of a feel of the Traveler universe through GURPS Traveler than anybody else, any of the other systems, like how the universe worked, But enough of that. Let's go on into the game. Again, everybody here is a cop, basically. Whether Ponch and Baker, a definite play on the Chips theme, are two space cops. They are Glisten GSEC. They are uniformed police officers with full arrest powers and stuff like that. They're basically on patrol around the starport. That's their designated section of the day. They fly around on grab bikes and look cool in some super tight uniforms. I believe I have Gertrauer, and it is it Cahill? No, Gertrauer and Grawl. Yeah, Gertrauer and Grawl are my starport security guys. They are basically working for the starport control themselves. They are basically an employee of starport control, but they also still have full arrest powers. They're customs officials, basically. They are checking everybody as they're coming through one of the busiest starports in Traveler, Glisten. It's just extremely crazy starport. Glisten itself is really a setup of two different belts. If I'm not mistaken, there's the Glisten belt and I believe the Peluvian belt. The Glisten belt is the more popular belt, the one most people go to all the time. Tons and tons of ore and material to supply the people who are mining the ore or flying through the system on the daily. very, very busy area. And then we also have our last two. I believe we have Arliss and is it Cahill? Yeah,
Cahill.
yeah, Arliss and Cahill.
Cahill.
Yeah, they are my two basically Imperial security guys. Like someone said in NCIS earlier, not too far off. You're basically Imperial Navy, but you're also basically a space cop. You're Imperial security. You two are the only ones that are plain clothes. Everyone else is obviously uniformed space cop. You two are wearing regular civvy clothes with like a flak vest underneath, and you guys are armed with what you guys got on the character sheet, and that's about it. So yeah, it is like an average day on Glisten Starport Control area. One of the busiest ports around. Honestly, yeah, tons of material flying in and out here all the time. My Imperial security officers are also on patrol around here as well. They've been placed on alert to be watching out for suspicious activity today, more than usual. There has been some buzz among the channels that people may be coming in, persons of interest may be coming in, and to basically keep eyes and ears open for any incidents that might arise on the space station. And if people start to flash on like the space cams, the monitoring cams, the security people will be known, and they'll basically get like a wave on their comm link, what have you. Hey, be on the lookout for this person. You'll get like a profile picture of them and stuff like that. But we're going to start with like where most of this kind of fun stuff happens. We're going to start in the actual customs area. Our people in customs. So yeah, you guys are basically waving through people in customs, and like ships and stuff are coming in. You're pulling the odd person for a full check. You're going through luggage, stuff like that. Other people are checking out like the actual cargo and stuff like that. Like they'll spot check cargo. A lot of it gets scanned. It's far too busy of a station for them to check every piece of cargo that goes through here. So a lot of it is run through a scanner just to kind of see if anything obvious pops through. And then they do the occasional spot check of like maybe 1 out of every 10 pieces of cargo or something actually gets opened up and given a cursory look. Kind of like that. It's an extremely busy place. So you guys are like checking and watching things and going through the customs officials and stuff like that, and checking, being very, very officious, being polite to all the people. You haven't really had too much of incidents today. Things have been going really, really smooth. And then all of a sudden, you guys get a wave that the two customs people, as well as the starport cops, Ponch and John, you both get a wave. Hey, this ship called the Application of Credit is arriving. We need all of you to come check this place out. The ship out is coming out. It's dropping a shipment of Zebo cattle, like hexapod Zebo cattle, 6-legged cattle. They got a wave that there might be a contamination issue with these cattle, that you'll need to kind of monitor them for any signs of illness or sickness because of the long travel time that they've had in jump. So basically, like they're going to be pushing these things, these cattle through a cattle chute into like a corral area to be processed. But they want you guys to be like on either side of like the cattle cars and just kind of watching them, looking for any, you do like scanners and stuff as they're going by and checking stuff out and just seeing for any obvious signs of illness. Now, the fact that these are live cattle being brought onto Glisten is a big thing. Usually everything that's being shipped to Glisten is like processed to the max, processed and prepackaged and put in tubes and stuff like that. Squirt the protein paste into your mouth, what have you. So these are live cattle coming in to be processed. This is a big thing. This is somebody way up the food chain has ordered up these people, these cattle to be used and like processed live here on the station, or because it's the expense of sending all these cattle and having someone prepare them here on Glisten. That's a high dollar item. So you're like, what, somebody having a big ball or benefit or something like that, and like this is their big thing that they're putting on, like 1,000 credits a plate or something like that. So you're like, oh, somebody big is behind this. So that's why you're like, oh, okay, of course we got to go watch these freaking dumb cattle getting charged.
Hey, Matt, a question. So
Yeah.
we're in the downport, right? We're not in the high port, right?
I believe it only has high ports because it is an asteroid belt. I don't believe there is actual down ports. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it's like you're in the main starport area on Glisten. There may be a couple of others in the belt, to like drop off, or pick up minerals and stuff like that. The stuff that they're actually mining. But this is like the main intake starport for Glisten, because it's in the larger Glisten belt. So yeah, everything in here is canned, So the fact that these cattle are coming through here again is a big thing, So you're like, oh, some mucky mucks got us doing that, and of course the Imperial security guys, you guys also get a wave as well, that these are being processed through, and you're like, well, this could be interesting to kind of see what's going on, I haven't seen a live cow in like years. Kind of livestock years. So you guys can mosey your way on down there as well. You're kind of like in a kind of a lull between your security patrols. So everybody's basically in that area. Now again, the GSEC and the starport security guys, they're on task. They're basically watching them as they go through and all that fun stuff. The security guys, they're the Imperial security guys, they are just kind of there, oh look, cow, 6-legged cow, wow, cool, kind of a deal.
Looking for suspicious cows.
Exactly, looking for suspicious cows.
Well, let's face it, the cat, the Aslan, is looking for lunch.
Oh, I mean, there's burger right on the hoof. Yeah, it's right there, man. You're like, man, oh man. It's like they won't miss one. I just set it down here. But there's like 20 head of cow, which is a good amount. And they're basically just kind of imagine like Firefly when they had all the cattle down in the cargo bay. They're basically just kind of loaded down a ramp, and there's these makeshift like fences, metal fences that are basically making a chute straight to like the holding area where they're going to be set up and cataloged and processed, stuff like that. So like some of the starport people are also around here. It's getting kind of busy right here because everybody's like, look, live animals. Wow. Some of these people may have never seen one before, lived their entire life on protein paste. So it is kind of a thing. People are like, oh, wow, this doesn't happen a lot. So everybody's like, oh, wow, cool. Like kids are like looking at the cattle and stuff, like it's almost like a zoo kind of thing. So yeah, you guys are looking around. So those of you who are watching, and especially you guys who are on the job, you can either make me a recon roll, or if you're looking through your scanner and actually like scanning them, we'll say you have scanners as well. If you're actually scanning them for any sign of disease or anything like that, you can make me a sensors roll, electronic sensors roll.
All right,
How are we doing rolls, by the way?
So yeah, I'm sorry, I don't have a dice spot here, so it will be your like a dice you can use on your computer or dice in front of you. I'm using regular dice myself. I got the Deep Night Revelation dice. Super happy to have them.
Okay, I've got physical dice. Yeah.
There you go. We'll do the honor system here. I trust you guys. Roll the dice and let me know what you got. So you got 2d6 plus your recon and irrelevant attribute, or your electronic sensors roll and relative attribute.
Oh, you won't believe this. I've just rolled level 6.
There you go. That's
Box
perfect.
cars.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Plus the Recon 1 and Education 1 for 14.
Got it.
That is a good start. I'm happy with that.
That is a really good start. Good job, Guitar. Excellent, excellent. And you are you're Starport Security, so that completely makes sense. You're on the job.
And I rolled a 10 plus whatever.
Brawl? Okay. Yeah, so 10 plus your if you're using recon, whatever skill you got in recon or electronic sensors.
Yeah, recon 2. So 10 goes to
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. And if you have any relative intellect attribute, that goes as well. Any bonus on there. So yeah. So you guys are definitely on the job. Looks like Ponch rolled a 9. Baker's got a 7. Baker's kind of distracted. Some of the people are around. He's like, clear the way, kind of a deal. So yeah, so those you guys are doing really, really well. It's very busy. They're like trying to move these cattle as quickly as they can. They're trying to move them through about, I want to say about a 50-meter chute between like the ship and like where they've got to go, like the chamber they've got to go into. They're basically kind of put inside a meat locker. Basically, is where they're being shoved inside a giant meat locker. They have nowhere else to put them yet, so they're all like being crammed and jammed in there, and like we're going to get to them later. Hopefully, they don't freeze before they actually process them. That'll be a mess. So yeah, so Ponch looks like he's done well. Gertrauer's done well. Scott's done well. Let's see. Arliss, did you roll? I didn't see a roll for Arliss.
I'm going to make a roll for Persuade, which is going to be a +1 and a -1.
Okay.
That's a 7. So it's a straight 7 to find out where the giblets are going.
Exactly. So yeah, if you're talking to like some of the people that are unloading the cattle from the ship, is that what you're doing, Persuade?
Yeah, I basically want to persuade them to show them the manifest of lading to where these beasts are going, and I'm very interested in buying some fresh meat myself, parts which others might not eat.
Got it. So yeah, you're looking at the bow lading, and it is a straight purchase for one of the high muckety mucks here for like the Glisten ore mining facility here. Like what the president is putting on a big benefit banquet kind of a deal here for some new investors and stuff that will be flying in throughout the rest of the week. So you're like, oh yeah, this is going to be like for a big benefit dinner kind of a deal. It's like kind of like what you guys have been surmised. So yeah, so they're basically being shoved in like a giant meat locker, a meat locker barely big enough to hold 20 head of cattle. Like they're all going to be kind of like this. Glad Peter is not watching this episode of
Okay, so I noticed we're all about age 34, so 4 terms.
Yeah, around 4 terms.
So does that make us typically a lieutenant and a captain in terms of naval ranks?
Yes. I believe Arliss, you are the senior. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's a surprise because maybe there's not as much racism against cats in
not Glisten, not Glisten. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're still unlikely to be receiving an invitation to this banquet, yeah?
yeah, it'd be nice to, because you've done such a great job to get invited as like security.
We're grunt beat cops. I mean, we may be lucky if we guard the front door, and that's about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
So those of you who've been doing well on your recon and sensors rolls, so like Grawl, was that a recon or a sensors roll?
Recon.
Recon, excellent. So Ponch, you're picking up like everything looks okay on your sensors when you're looking at them. There's no sign of disease or anything like that. It's very fortunate. There's no one with any real obvious a disease or anything that's blowing up in your sensors. So you're like, oh, that's good. They're passing through that part anyway. That's really good. Those of you who did well in your recon, like those of you who are rolling like 12 and so in your recon. Now you're watching like some of these people, like there's like, like several people coming from the ship. It's coming off a subsidized D. I should have mentioned that. I'm sorry. It's coming off a sub D, bigger cargo ship plus passenger ship. So there's the people like, with some sticks and stuff like that. It's like some cattle prods kind of pushing the cattle, through the chute, stuff like that, making them go. There looks like there's two guys with actual like cattle prods that are kind of doing that thing. A male and a female, actually. A very skinny male and a rather average female are both like, bzz, 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 move along, get along, move along. But then you're watching like, and moving through them are three others along, just kind of watching, just kind of moving along with the cattle and just kind of, doing this. There's two adults and a small child. There's one male, one big oaf of a male who has like a traveler version of like sunglasses on, like goggles, and a female with a kind of a gleam behind her eyes, and then a young kid that's probably about 10, a young girl that's about 10, and they're moving through the crowd, and you notice them because they're like watching around the people that are around, and as soon as they see you guys, they like look down at the ground, and as you're watching them, they're trying to like move through the fence. They're like moving like between the areas of the fence. They're like basically trying to either climb through or over the fence.
Are they trying to?
I'm sorry.
I was just saying, you got eyes on this, Cahill?
Yeah, I do. I want to go over there and tell them to get off the fence.
Yeah, so they're climbing over the fence, and they are booking. They're like climbing over their side, and they are moving. They're running, like the big guy's running in one direction, and the female is taking the little kid and running in another direction.
Stop, or you'll stop again.
You'll stop. They are not even looking back there.
Am I on my grab bike?
No, your grab bike's like back in the entrance, way out there. This is like in a cargo area. You're in like the ship cargo area.
I'll probably try and get into a position to intercept them from getting further in. Cut them off.
All right. So those
Run
of you
them up, hide. Sorry.
no problem. Don't run them up. Exactly. So Cahill and Guitar, those of you who are trying to chase after him, make me an athletics roll, like especially if you have like an athletics dex-based roll or just a regular dex check.
All right, just rolling dex is +1, and I've got 7 + 1, 8.
8.
I'm noticing something interesting going on, but I've got strength-based athletics, and I rolled an 8.
Got it. Okay. Rolled an 8. Baker's rolled a 10. Who are you after, Baker? Again, we've got like the guy went one way and the female and the girl went another way. You're on mute.
Hi, I'm back in the room. I'll go after the woman and the girl.
You going after the woman and the girl? Okay. All right.
I'm following Greg, by the way. I may be technically the senior, but he's Cahill, but Cahill is a very trusted partner.
Yeah, excellent. Absolutely.
I think Ponch is he's gonna hang out and still watch the ship. These guys might be a diversion or something else. So he's just gonna kind of keep up. He's just watching that ramp on that ship. He's just kind of keeping an eye on everything.
Got it. And yeah, you're seeing like the other two. maybe investigate roll punch if you got one while you're watching those two before we do the actual chase.
Let's see. I have investigate +1. Yeah.
Use your intellect bonus if you have any.
Okay. Well, no, he's a 7, so he doesn't have one. So I failed. I rolled a 5 +1, 6.
Okay, that's fine. All right.
But
So yeah,
by the way, can I have investigated in advance of? As in, I was watching around and.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. As
Okay,
well.
so I'm rolling a 7, but I do get a +2 and then another +2 for intellect. So that's an 11.
Got it. Okay, 11. So yeah, you're noticing, like, you noticed when you were talking to the checking the lady and stuff, talking with the ship official, and everybody was watching, the people come through. Like the other two that were at the cattle prods seemed like they didn't even notice those three. Like they just walked right past them. And it was really weird. You're like, are they with them? Are they not with them? I don't know.
Stowaways, maybe.
Sorry, say again.
Stowaways, maybe.
Maybe if they were very smooth about it, because again, the crew didn't even acknowledge them. So yeah, something's definitely up there. So okay, could it be bribed? Could be anything. Yeah.
Or they could have psionics shielding too, and maybe the crew didn't even see them, right?
Or a memory randomizer or something to make people forget them.
Something like that. So yeah, Punch and Arliss are kind of doping that out there by the ship. Let's get to the chase. So we had Cahill, Gertrude, Baker, and I believe Grawl involved in the chase. Is that right?
And Gertrude as well.
Yeah, Gertrude.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem. So Cahill and Gertrude, you two were chasing after the man or the woman, or were you each doing different ones? Again, I'm need to.
I think Gertrude and Cahill going after the big guy, and the other two are going after the woman and the child.
Baker and Scott after the woman. Yeah. Okay, that makes.
And I'm following Cahill.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So the three of you. So Cahill and Gertrude are definitely right after the guy, and then Arliss is a little bit behind because he's kind of comparing notes with Punch, and then like I'm going, kind of a deal. Grawl, Scott, I assume you're going again after the female with the little girl after with Baker there.
Yep.
Excellent. So okay. So Cahill and Gertrude, based on your rolls. So that was 8 from Gertrude and 7 from Cahill. Cahill, you start to fall behind. Like the people, there's too many people in the way and stuff like that. They're shifting through the crowds. He's moving through here like with a purpose, and you're losing him. Gertrude, you're like trying to keep up with him as best as you can. And he is just like a few steps ahead of you. And he's a big guy. He's an older guy. I want to say he's one like in his late 50s, early 60s. You can't place him, and he has like a white stick, like a for a handicapped person, and he's running around, like waving the stick around, and he has these little, kind of like like what we use for like earbuds now, and he's got them on him, and big gruff looking guy wearing just like rough like. Almost, peasant type clothes, very, very plain homespun kind of clothes, but he is like booking. He is just like, and he stops, jerks, and runs like through this service door. He sees you. He perceives a service door like a maintenance tunnel, and boom, goes right down this maintenance tunnel. You pursue him through the maintenance tunnel.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Got it. And I'm assuming
we've got communications devices.
Yeah.
So I'll communicate my movements.
Got it. And Cahill, you're keeping up with them. You're basically you lost sight of the quarry, but you just have enough eyes on Gertrude to keep up. So you're like 10 meters behind Gertrude. basically.
How close am I behind Cahill?
You're probably a good bit behind Cahill. You're just taking off from the area because we discussed that you were doing the investigate bit there for a minute.
Yeah.
So you can see Cahill, but you can't see Gatrar. You're a good bit behind Cahill. That's all happening like really, really fast. Like he was running and then like did like a Johnny Quest slide and like ran down this service corridor, just boom, bolted through the service corridor. Those of you who are after the female and the young girl, that was Baker Scott, right? Baker and Scott. How did you guys do? Baker got a 10, excellent, and Scott, who's playing Grawl. Did I see a roll from you? I don't see a roll. What did you have for a roll? Like a chasing, like athletics or dex, just regular dex roll.
Like a 6.
Got
Yeah,
6.
6 plus 1. 7.
6. So you actually like nearly trip on all these people in the crowd. You're having a hard time getting through the crowd. Baker, like you are running and you just grab like the collar of the girl, of the female, not the little girl, the female, the human, the adult female. You're getting ready to like take her down, spin her around, whatever, but you're like within inches of grabbing the collar. And the little girl looks at you and just says, "Stop." And you boom, hit the deck.
Oh, okay.
And they are flat running. You're picking yourself up off the ground. Scott, you saw like Baker just boom hit the ground with like his face, like bam. And they just kept going. Are you checking on Baker or are you going after the other two?
Can I use some kind of a sensor device are there camera pickups around here that I can kind of see where they're headed?
There are cameras all throughout the starport. Yeah, you can tap into the cameras to see where they're headed. Absolutely.
That's what I would like to do.
Okay, so you're basically kind of taking like a fallback position, just monitoring through there. Maybe like checking in on Baker, make sure he's okay while you're doing that.
No, I'm not going to check it on Baker. I'm just checking.
Don't worry about me.
He'll be fine.
He just hit the ground like hard. I mean, you tripped and like caught yourself. He went bam, like face planted. No real damage to you, Baker. You just it's more embarrassing than anything else. So you're hitting the sensors. So go ahead and make me your sensors roll.
9 plus 1, 10.
Excellent. So you're tracking them through sensors. You're seeing where they're going, and it definitely looks like they're going towards like the like Startown kind of area of the starport. Like the little suburban areas, the living areas of the starport. It's a huge mishmash maze of buildings and or structures and stuff through here. Just think of like the starport, like you're inside a gigantic mall, basically what it is. And they're moving towards like a habitat sort of area. So that's basically, as you're tracking them on the sensors, that's where they're going.
I'll tell everybody where they're going, and I guess me and Baker will head in that direction.
Got it. So you pick up Baker and
At my feet, yep.
yeah, pick up Baker, dust him off kind of a little bit. And again, you have no idea what happened. Like the little kid turned around and said, "Stop." You blinked your eyes and you're looking at the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're like, whoa. So that's happening. Split back to Gertrauer and Cahill and Arliss. So you're chasing after the big guy. Big guy is going through the maintenance tunnels, and he really seems to know what he's doing. Like he is vaulting over like service tubes and pipes, and think of like a steam room, something like that. Like dozens and dozens of pipes are strewn everywhere. With cable pipes and sewage pipes and all kinds of just pipes are crammed into this maintenance. It's basically like a wet wall, crammed in between these two other structures. And he knows what he's doing. He is like vaulting and jumping and doing this and doing that. So it's going to be a harder than normal athletics or dex roll to keep up with him. Please roll again. Gertrude, Cahill, and Arliss.
Well, I rolled a 3.
You are going to lose them.
I've got 9 total.
One short.
I'm hearing all the feedback from the other guys and what's going on. So kind of assuming that we need to stop these guys pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. So
Because I'm
Gertrude
wondering
and
whether they're-
Cahill, they aren't doing so well. Arliss, yeah, how are you doing on your athletics roll? And remember, you're way behind.
I just rolled a 3.
Okay, so yeah, you guys basically lose him in the mess of maintenance areas. Like, you get turned around, you're like, which way did he go? And like, he's gone. He is like gone. And you're like, and there's no cameras in this maintenance tunnel, so you can't track him on cameras or anything like that. Like, he could pop out of. It's kind of like you're in the sewers. He could pop out of these maintenance tunnels and shafts and be anywhere on the station. You have no clue.
Did you say there's sewers?
Basically, it's like these maintenance tunnels snake through the entire station. Yeah.
So, is there how clean is it down there? As in,
It's not.
Sewers are never clean.
It's not. It's grimy and dirty and oily.
can we try investigate to trail?
Good point. So yeah, that would be a recon.
A recon, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna catch up slowly to the other guys and say,
Got
hey,
it.
we can do some recon.
Got it.
And I rolled a 6, which becomes a 9, I believe.
Yeah, 9. Okay, so yeah, the problem with you though, with you being a Aslan, there's like a cacophony of sensory overload basically happening to you. There's all these pipes and sewers and stuff like that making all kinds of interesting smells for you. It's really hard for you to track him in here, and there's so much debris in here, you really can't discern a trail. Like, tons of people have been walking through here, actual maintenance people, doing their stuff, throwing boxes and discarding trash and stuff through here. It's too much for you to determine. Like in a normal setting, like out in the open, or even in a clean part of the sector, you should be able to track him by smell. But there is too much in here for you. You're overloaded.
Okay, so this asteroid that we're on, is it kind of like the size of Ceres?
Trying to remember the actual size. I mean, there is
quite pretty big.
Yeah, it's really big.
Small planetary.
Yeah, thank you. I forget the population, but I know it's in the millions.
Well, I mean, there's billions in the system.
Yeah.
But the physical size of the planet, it probably has with grav technology, tech level F.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
have normal gravity, yeah.
Yeah, it definitely has normal gravity. Absolutely.
I mean, that's not to say there's not plenty of grime, but yeah, we're stuck.
Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, he knows where he's going. You guys don't. You're not maintenance people. He obviously has been around a few maintenance shafts and knows how to manipulate them. You've lost him. Yeah, I mean, he went exactly where he needed to go to lose you, and he lost you. So you're kind of walking back out the way you came, kind of stoop shouldered, you got pictures of him. You got the cameras have taken shots of him. Back in the starport control, back in the customs area when they were unloading the cattle. There's had to be cameras take pictures of him, so you can definitely post, like wanted, signs and stuff like that.
Yeah, we need to like get some of the still photos that we captured from the cameras and start comparing those images to either known criminals or whatever. Just try to see if we can get a read or an ID on these folks.
Got it. So Punch, back to you at the ship. So the two people with the cattle prods, they have loaded the cattle into the area and they're closing everything off, and they're looking at you and you're like, what happened? What's the matter?
So I'm assuming that he's got some kind of data pad or something, and a small little device where he can call up like still images, and so he's just going to go over and he's going to kind of like, hey, do you guys recognize these individuals?
Are you pulling?
Yeah, I'm pulling up their images, the still images, and I'm showing, hey, do you notice these people, or do you recognize these people? Were they on board? Do you know anything about these people at all?
And he's looking at them and going, the two of them. One introduces himself as Polly, and the other one is Desada. And they're both looking at the pictures and they're like, no. Were they on the ship? They weren't the passengers. Some of the passengers, and you're watching like some of the passengers are like disembarking from the front of the subsidized liner. They're basically going down like the little gangplank kind of a deal. There's about 10 or 12 of them.
Yeah, Mike. Okay. All right. Thanks. And then Ponch is like, is the captain or one of like maybe the first officer of the ship available? Like he's going to climb. He's going to go up into the ship and kind of look for these guys.
Yeah.
And he wants to basically ask the same question.
Yeah. So Polly, the guy, the skinny guy with the cattle prod, he's like, I'm the pilot. I'm the first officer. So yeah, I'll take you to the captain, Deba. And she's like, he's like pointing up to the off ramp, basically where the passengers are loading in. She's like at the top of the off ramp, like shaking hands with the people as they're going by. Thank you for flying. Thank you.
So Ponch is just like, hey, he's like, you come here.
Yeah,
Captain, I need to talk to you. And he goes over to the ramp and he kind of pulls up some of those images and he's like, hey, we had some individuals that basically bolted from your ship. My first guess is that they're stowaways, and he kind of shows the data pad with the images, and he's like, hey, do you recognize these individuals?
Got it. And she's looking at them, and she's a older sort of space hand herself. She's like in her late 40s, early 50s, and kind of the grizzled captain kind of a look. Kind of the platinum white hair, kind of cut short, kind of a deal. And she's looking at the data pad. And she's like, "You said these people were on my ship?"
We saw them bolt out of the cargo hold along with the cattle, and they hopped the cattle chute and they bolted down into our maintenance shafts.
And she immediately goes on a defensive. She goes, "Officer, I swear I did not know these people were on my ship. I don't know what to tell you. I've never seen these three before." And she's like starting to like vomit like documents at you, and she's like, these were the people.
Yeah, okay, enough. I don't
Yeah.
He's going to ask to see if he can see any of their footage or camera recordings from the cargo hold.
We didn't really have any cameras in the cargo hold. We don't really have a need for them.
I want to take a look at any of the footage from when the people when you guys boarded these when you loaded these cattle on any camera footage you guys have available at all. at it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And she, absolutely. She brings you on board, and like, there is like, she shows you like the data bank where all that stuff is, and there's
Mhm.
there's cameras of like the common areas, like the hallway that leads down towards the staterooms and stuff like that.
Mhm.
There's no cameras in the staterooms, of course. There's cameras like in the galley, that kind of area like that. Cameras on the bridge, which is basically like tied into like their black box or what have you. If something goes wrong, something's recorded, of each person at their station and what they're doing, what buttons they're punching and stuff like that. I mean, they've been in jump for a week, so
Yeah.
you got a week's worth of stuff to look at.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask her if I can download it to my pad, and we're gonna take it back and go have some forensics guys have a look at it. All right, Captain, thank you very much for your cooperation. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anything I can do for GSEC? Yes, absolutely.
Yep. And then he just scoots out of there, and he gets on the radio. Yeah, he gets on the radio, and basically he lets the other guys know what he found. And it seems like the crew's pretty much clueless. My first guess is just based on common sense is these are stowaways, and they probably hid away inside the cargo area along with the cattle. So yeah.
Excellent.
Is there any way we can run investigate, run the computers and try and track down who they are?
I've got the footage, right?
Yeah, you got the footage of that stuff like that. Like, yeah, so like he's handling, Ponch is handling like the actual footage on the ship, kind of a deal, dealing with the people that were on the ship. That's kind of like what Ponch is doing. If you're looking at like the people, taking like pictures of the people as they came off the ship, off the cattle chute, you've got pictures of them, like decent shots of them. They can't avoid it. It's they're coming right out of the ship, So you're taking pictures of that, sending it to them, waving it off towards your different places and stuff like that. And Gertrude, your customs, right?
Yep.
And let's see. And so your customs with, was it Cahill?
Cahill, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're running it off towards that and stuff like that. What about Scott and Arliss? What are you guys doing?
Well, I've only just caught up with Cahill, having stumbled.
Yeah.
Cahill was stumbling himself even more. I suggest that we spend some serious time checking the computers, and also I would like to work out where some of those entrails are going.
Got it. So yeah, so like you're mapping out like possible entrance exit points from these maintenance stations, and you're watching like the whole map of the station just kind of dot up with like hundreds of dots, and you're like, oh god. it's you're basically, they're basically going to have to pass in front of a camera and like ding. You're basically, what you guys are doing, you're setting it up like the facial recognition software, like if they pass in front of a camera, for it to ding, and you're like, okay, they're there. That's really all you guys can do at this moment, because they could have gone anywhere, especially the big guy through the maintenance shafts. You assume the other two went to like the Startown kind of area.
I think it's kind of time to properly introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
So Cahill and I are with Imperial Intelligence, Naval Intelligence, and I know we're in civies, but we'd like to help.
Yeah. Gertrar and Goral are the customs security people, the actual Starport Customs. Yeah, and then Arliss and Cahill.
Very, very happy for your help.
What's Beaker supposed to be?
I'm sorry?
What am I supposed to be?
Baker, you're with Ponch. You're basically a space cop. You're GSEC.
All right.
Yeah. If you ever, I don't know if you've ever watched in London, there was a show back in the late 70s, early 80s called Chips, American show. Yeah, that's you're John Baker, and Rick is Frank Poncherello. It's basically
Wasn't that California Highway Interception Patrol something?
California Highway Patrol. They just put the I in there to make it chips.
All right.
I remember watching this show on a Friday evening back when I was young.
Yeah, I've been watching like a lot of it all this week too. Like, thank goodness for stuff that you can download and stream.
Uh-huh.
I've been having like those little symphony kind of areas with like they had like such cool music, like pursuit music. It was
I
like
love those old shows. They're
full
awesome.
blown symphony, disco symphony, I guess I want to call it. But yeah, so it was so fun to watch. I'm like, oh man, it's definitely put me in the mood while I was coming up with this whole kind of a plot plan kind of a deal. Those of you who are well experienced with traveler scenarios may recognize the setup for this. This is Three Blind Mice from the Little Black Books. It's kind of a different take on the Three Blind Mice episode scenario. It might have been Mongoose. I don't know. It might have been Mongoose. It's the first time I remember seeing it was like the first edition Mongoose was Three Blind Mice. So yeah, it's one of the more classic old school kind of scenarios. I kind of just took that and just like mashed it with like a Chips episode, and I'm like, this will work. So yeah, so those you guys that have like investigate are basically doing your deal. Make me investigate roles, and you're taking the pictures and like putting them through your alerts and stuff like that.
Okay, making a roll.
Yeah, and tell it.
That's a shit roll. Excuse me for broadcasting.
You're fine.
Yeah,
You're fine.
I get a +4, but I only rolled a 3.
Oh, no problem. So it's like a 7 altogether. It's still
It's
still
a
not
7.
bad. Still not bad. So yeah, we're looking for like an investigate. So investigate plus intellect bonus. Make those
I
rolls.
got a 9 if that matters.
Good job.
I'm keen to find out who's breached starport security.
I mean, they busted through you guys like it was no
It's a
thing.
serious matter.
They did.
Yeah, I did. I can wirelessly transmit all of the footage to the, especially the naval guys, but also the custom guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Baker,
I got a 12.
Nice. Gertrude. Excellent. So Starport controls on the job, man. You guys, you're messing around, Gertrude. You guys, you're on it. Excellent. The woman and the child, yes, Grawl, they were going to they were heading towards Startown. When you were looking at your sensors, you got at the sensors roll, watching them go through the cameras, like they're going towards the Startown, which is basically the habitat block of the starport. Easy.
Great.
To lose
I've got a streetwise skill. What
Excellent.
I'm interested, so I've probably, since I've been on the station a while, I know troubling people here who would help hide other troubling people. So I want to make a roll on that if possible.
Please.
7 + 1 is an 8.
Hey, excellent. So you're looking around and you're looking like towards starport control. And I mean, just out of the corner of your eye was somebody walking past you, like trying not to be seen. Just kind of like doing this kind of a deal. Almost that bad. You're a cop, and she's just, it's a female, wearing kind of trampy kind of clothes, like space tramp kind of clothes, not like prostitute or anything like that. Just kind of rough kind of clothes, for a traveler. But she's definitely like, don't see me kind of, and you recognize her immediately. You're like, oh my God, it's like one of the definite, like, if there's somebody that's dealing with something underhanded, crooked, or any sort of like smuggling kind of thing, that girl, you're just like, it's like ding, like dings right over her, and you're like,
I will go interrogate her.
I got it. And she's like, like 3 feet away from you. So like you basically just kind of reach out and grab her, kind of a deal. And you spin her around kind of deal. She's about 28, fairly attractive. Wears some rough kind of clothes, like her tunic's kind of off on one shoulder kind of bit, showing a lot of skin, kind of dusky hued. And her, you're the name's pops in your head just as soon as you get a full look at her, and you're like, Jimmy Hranth. And she's just like the fixer, the wheeler dealer kind of person. She's exactly when you made your streetwise, you're like, you. Why are you here right now?
She's involved in all this somehow.
Yeah. So yeah.
So simply put, I will go up to her and I will look as threatening as possible and say, 2 people just came through here, and if you don't know where they are, you're spending the next week in prison.
Oh, hey! What are you? I'm just walking through here. Some people
If
busted
you
me
don't
and I'm in
know
trouble.
who they are and where they're going, you're spending the next week in prison.
Wow, it's just like that, huh? Oh,
So there's no intimidation role here. That's what he's trying to do.
It's just like that. All right, fair
And
enough.
he rolls an 11.
Nice.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. So we're using like persuade. You can use
Yeah.
persuade. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. So yeah. So but backed up with like the might of the the law, as well. So yeah. So she's like, hey! I was just told to pick up a few people here, and take them back. They were looking to lie low for a while. To a guy and a girl and some kid. I didn't know if it was a family or not or anything like that. And he's like, I've just got like pictures, and he shows you the pictures. And yeah, sure enough, it's those 3.
So who told you to pick them up?
Oh, my contract, the person I have a contract through. Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I tell the team that I've got someone who was sent to pick up these people. Obviously, she missed the connection. Do they know where to go if you missed them?
Yeah, they were supposed to meet me at the last gasp.
Okay. Targets are headed towards the last gasp. And I say, put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
Oh man!
Yeah, and Punch gets back on the radio and he's like, do not let her talk or make any calls to anyone because she's gonna tip them off. So and then
that's why she's under arrest.
And he tells Baker, he's like, hey, let's get over the last gasp and intercept these guys.
Got it.
I guess I'm on the message system too now. And
Yeah,
I say,
yeah.
Hey, don't arrest her. Take her into protective custody.
Same thing.
Same thing. Same thing. She's going to be secured. I guess, stuff like that. So yeah, she's walking away with the cuffs on her. She's like, oh man, kind of like an episode of Cops kind of a deal. So yeah, now you guys will have to take a few minutes to like drop her off. No, you don't have to go all the way towards like the police station. There's like a little detention center, right here at the starport, basically a broom closet, where you like chain them to the cuff them to like the bar or whatever, and like somebody else would come along and pick them up later. Take them for processing, kind of stuff like that. So it's like 5 minutes in and out, kind of a deal. You tell the desk sergeant there, hey, this, book this person on suspicion of smuggling, blah 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 blah, that kind of deal. And he's writing everything down. Now, while all that's happening, you guys are kind of clustered together, comparing notes still, kind of stuff like that. But you guys are all fairly together there. And my 2 Imperial security guys, Arliss and Cahill, you guys get a flash on your comm from Imperial Naval Intelligence, and they're like, that man, yeah, definitely, this guy needs to be detained. He says there's a, definitely want to say that there's like basically an Imperial warrant out for him regarding an incident on the Zodani frontier. Guy is definitely up for like possible war crimes.
Wow.
And they're like, yeah, please detain, immediately capture, alive, if possible, by all means.
So with this, and Poncho's kind of listening to some of this traffic and talking to the guys. He's like, so do we know whether or not these guys are Imperial citizens or are they Zodani?
So yeah, so definitely like Brummer is showing as Imperial. The big guy. Give me just a second. Scrolling, loading. Please wait. He is ex-Navy. His name is Breton Valancourt. His last rank was E3, able space hand. He is showing as injured. He's technically blind. He uses the earpieces to compensate as like a radar kind of a deal. But yeah, he's an able space hand. Forcibly retired from the dishonorably discharged from the Navy. And there's like when you go check it out, it's a whole lot of redacted material. You're like, whoa. Like even the security guy, the Imperial Navy security guys, like you don't have clearance for this. You're like, it's like, whoa. All lots of redacted. Now the female, was a very, very attractive female. As you're looking at the pictures of her. Her name, she is also ex-Navy as well. Her name is Nestine Brummer. So we have a Breton Valancourt and a Nestine Brummer. They have her. She is retired from honorably from the Navy as the rank of commander. She's age 44. She does have a pair of like cyber eyes. That was why you have like the little a little bit of a gleam. Yeah. From her eyes. They look normal, except like in certain lights, you'll see like a reflection, kind of like in Blade Runner with the replicants. They have that kind of like glow in certain light.
And what's the read on the kid?
The kid, they don't have a read on the kid. They got nothing on the kid.
Mm-hmm. All right, we'll have to figure that out.
How old roughly is the kid? Like
the kid
10?
looks to be around 10-ish. Yeah, could be between 8 and 11, but you're figuring 10. Kind of skinny, a little malnourished, kind of stuff. Honestly, and as you're looking at all of them down here on the pictures, like they're rough. They're like they've been living rough, for like a while. Like their clothes are kind of torn and stained and messed up, and hair's matted. There's like some straw and stuff from the cattle and stuff, kind of all, some of it stuck in the guy's beard and in their hair, kind of stuff. It's it's bad.
Right. Well, something's up here, but at some stage they've got to turn up on the security cameras on the starport, unless they just hang out in the sewer.
That won't be fun.
Well, we already know they're supposed to go to the bar, right? The last gasp, right? So
yeah,
maybe we should try to coordinate some kind of. Maybe we should send in the plainclothes guys, unless they've already been spotted.
I mean,
what do you guys want to do?
Yeah, it's not a bad bar. Let's go.
I mean, it is a rough and tumble kind of place, kind of like a dive bar. It's where it is a rough kind of spot. It is where like.
But do they have cheap beer?
They have cheap beer.
Let's go.
Cheap beer, stale pretzels, all that stuff, all the bad stuff. Litter on the floor, the dartboards all banged up. So yeah, it's a rough spot. It's called the Last Gasp. It's known as a spacers hangout, kind of like it's almost like a truck stop / bar. It's basically what it is.
Is there any opportunity for us to go plainclothes down there?
Yeah, if you guys want to switch up and go in plainclothes, you will lose your cloth armor benefit.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah, it is a tough call.
I don't think we're going to be very welcome in this place in uniform.
You're thinking no, but you are the law. You know, you can throw a little Judge Dredd at him and go, hey, you know, mess with me, you got all my other guys too.
What do you reckon, Gag?
Yeah, so it's probably we should try and go in undercover. I don't know. We'll figure out more if we do than if we just roll up wearing uniforms and go everyone against the wall.
I mean, you could send Arliss and Cahill in ahead. They are plainclothes and they're wearing flak vests.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, and I think I'd like to basically do the opposite of washing my fur. I'm going to basically put a bit of roll in whatever dust I can find.
Nice. Go back in the maintenance shed, grab some grind.
And I'm still wearing my flak vest. I'm still carrying the weapons that I can.
Yeah.
But I'm looking like a bit of a bum.
Okay. Pretty rough and tumble then. How about you, Cahill?
Greg?
Muted.
Yeah, you're muted, Cahill. Greg. There you go.
Yeah, I see. Well, I'm already in plainclothes, but is the plainclothes I'm wearing would be out of place in this joint?
I mean, yeah, kind of. These are definitely the more rough and tumble kind of stuff. You're not wearing like a business suit, but you're wearing like, you know, casual clothes, like somebody on a holiday would be wearing. You know.
Well, I'll be the red herring then. I'll just go in as is.
You got like your polo shirt and, you know, cargo pants kind of deal. You know, cargo shorts almost kind of deal. You know?
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, somebody, you know, some dork on holiday, basically. Yeah, you know. So yeah. So you're sending those two ahead. That's fair, and it is like in the starport section of town, which is again the hab blocks, and think of it kind of like I'm alluding a lot to like Blade Hunter, where everything's kind of cramped and packed and claustrophobic. There's some of these throughways which barely two people can walk past each other. And there's all kinds of piping and tubing and humidity in here. Strange steam pops out of nowhere and all kinds of stuff. Neon signs grabbing your attention, but there's masses of neon signs, so you get lost in all the stuff. It's very, very good, like Blade Runner kind of a deal. It's all very cramped, very claustrophobic. People just trying to get through these different ways here. Some of the passageways are as wide as like a downtown Tennessee street. Some of them are barely an alleyway, and you're wafting in through all these different areas and stuff like that. Now, those of you who are uniformed, how far back are you hanging back?
So I was thinking that the actual official I'm not gonna go plainclothes. I'm gonna keep my armor on. I'm gonna basically just kind of like stay back about 20 meters, 30 meters off the bar. Try to find a place where I can kind of keep an eye on it on the front door, and just in case we get squirters, they decided to bolt, or if some maybe or if somebody else is watching and send somebody else in to go in and attack the naval guys, whatever. So I'm just gonna hang back. And I'm just gonna kind of watch the bar from the outside,
like across the street.
Yeah, across the alleyway.
I'll be with Punch then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. Good job, Baker. So yeah, Gertrude, Grawl, you guys doing pretty much the same kind of thing?
Yeah, just also check out back entrances and alleyways and stuff like that to make sure that
that's probably not a bad idea at all. You guys kind of going around, Gertrude and Grawl, you guys going around and like looking for a back exit.
Yeah, we'll cover the front, they can cover the back.
I think that's a really good plan. Yeah, there is definitely a back exit out of here. It's basically like a service door and like a little dumpster dipsy cart kind of a deal that's overflowing, of course. So yeah, so you're like there, just kind of we're in position kind of deal. So yeah, Cahill and Arliss, you guys walk in, and it's like as soon as you walk in, it's like walking into like a vape bar or something like that. Like all these different smells, just like assault your senses. Arliss, it's kind of like almost a similar situation at tunnels. You're like, whoa, everybody just has to stop smoking whatever it is they're smoking or inhaling for like 5 minutes.
I'm going to order one beer,
Okay.
3 portions of catnip, and whatever entrails they have. Do you have
Got
any
it.
entrails, liver, or?
We've got some chicken livers. Yeah.
I'd like some hearts as well. If you got some popping hearts.
You know, I've heard there's a new shipment of giblets on its way in.
They got some grilled groat on the menu.
Some grilled groat, exactly. Nice. So yeah, so there is, it's basically pub style food, or more like truck style kind of pub food. But yeah, there is that on tap, and stuff like that. You guys can now. You guys are all technically on duty, so guys are looking like you're drinking, but if you're following your duties, you're not really drinking. So yeah, you guys are looking around, and it is fairly busy in here. Its capacity is probably like 100 people, and it's probably about 3/4 full. So like somewhere around 70 people are in here. It is a kind of like a prime part of the day. I mean, Gliston's kind of like one of those cities that never sleeps. There's no nighttime. It's always nighttime. Gliston, you're on an asteroid. So it's always humming and buzzing. There's a constant din and chatter of what's going on around, and you're walking around like the bar kind of a deal. Make me a recon roll to see what you see.
Ooh, 11 plus 1 plus intellect.
Intellect, yes,
is 14.
Excellent. How about you, KL?
I was due for a good roll.
That was, yeah. You definitely pegged on him like right away.
Plus 1 is 7.
7. Good thing you got the Aslan with you, because he's like nearly pointed. Because you're like looking around, and you're like seeing all these people, and you're just like trying to scope through the crowd, and like, Arliss just like puts his hand, like in front of you, and just like looks dead, and like down all the way down the end of the bar, far in near the back exit. Honestly, is like the big guy you guys were chasing through the maintenance area. That was being chased. The big guy, he is all the way down there in the end of the bar, and he's just casually drinking a bottled beer, whatever, and stuff like that. And like somebody is like blah 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 into his ear. Really tiny, kind of a skinny person, like guy, probably I want to say about 5'2", maybe $105. Really just a little pipsqueak of a man, especially near this big dude. I mean, this guy's easily 6'2", pushing 250, 260, just a brick, and he's just like, drinking his beer and stuff like that, just kind of like watching, not really paying attention to the monitor, playing some sports ball on the screen. And this guy's just blah, 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 blah. He's just whatever, and just drinking. But yeah, his back's kind of to you. Actually, it's kind of like you guys are like on his 7. What's your plan, guys?
I'm tempted to go over to him and sort
I think
of
you need to rough him up a bit. Seems like
throw up a fur ball and ask him if he wants some catnip.
Man, there's nothing like doing this in Traveler, man. Like between the Aslan and the Vargur, I love picking on Vargur. I do, like people who want to play Vargur characters. Like I remember one Vargur that was playing in one of our games. He got sick from like radiation poisoning and literally like threw up. And I'm like, and I was playing. I was like, 20 credits, he eats it. 20 credits, he eats it. Everyone's like, oh man. I'm like, dude. But, so
I think it's pretty genius how the main alien races are sort of something we can relate to and understand.
exactly.
Rather than just some people with a bump on their head. Okay, fair enough.
Exactly.
So basically, I'd like to do a deception roll by walking up to him and noticing something about him and saying, kicked out of the Navy too.
Got it. Cahill, are you just backing him up, or what are you doing?
I think we're sitting separate tables.
Okay, yeah. But I'm asking like Cahill, like what he's doing. I assume you're, from what you're saying, you're approaching him and asking him.
I'm approaching him, but yeah, I've been having some catnip and
got it. And Cahill's announced to the other guys that we do have eyes on Breton Valancourt. So everybody's like, okay, the big target. The one Imperial Navy's like, we need this person.
so what characteristic am I adding? I've got a one on deception.
This would be a carouse kind of a deal. Oh, a perception, or did you say deception rather?
Deception, yeah.
Yeah, you can use deception or carouse, your choice.
But which characteristic? Not my high intellect.
Yeah, I mean, this is more of a social kind of aspect situation.
Okay, so one of my GMs flips it if it's a negative. So if it's a racist, it might double up the -1.
I'm going to assume that Breton's not racist, so yeah.
But if he's like, because basically I'm like, yeah, the Navy drummed me out because I'm an alien.
Gotcha.
That's my kind of approach. So I'm gonna roll, and it's pretty shitty. It's a 5.
5. And he's looking at you. Yeah. He kind of looks at you and he goes, "I don't want any trouble, man."
Yeah. Okay. I say sorry, man.
And he kind of spins around on the stool and he's still sitting, but he's like facing you now. And you guys are pretty neck and neck as far as size and stature. I mean, you're considered what I would say medium size for an Aslan, where he's like big for a human. Cahill says that, Treble. Do you say that, Cahill? Got it.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to persuade him. Can I buy you a beer, please? I'm so sorry. And I'll go back to my far table. It's so noisy here.
So yeah, you're saying that. Cahill's saying that behind you. Now the little pipsqueak of a guy, he's like looking up. He goes, "Are you messing with my man? This is my man back here. You can't be messing with him. You know who he is." And he's like all in Cahill's face. I mean, he is like, but he's like like this kind of a deal to Cahill. So he's like, "You can't be talking to my man." He's like, this is my bro. He's just like, oh, like 9 kinds of annoying, like right in your face, Cahill. Exactly. So what are you doing?
I'm gonna try persuade, which is gonna be a +1 and a -1, so it's a straight roll.
All right.
And it's a shitty roll again. It's a 5.
So yeah. So the little dude's like, actually, make me a persuade or deception roll, Cahill. Let me know what you got. Actually, it's a deception roll. Deception roll. As this guy's like all in your face, animated 10. So yeah, so it's like Normally, he would have made you take back a step, but you're like, little dude, you need to calm down. Kind of deal. But he's got you occupied. He's like right in front of you, kind of a deal. So it's like all real tight. He's like right behind the big guy, like squeezed in behind the big guy and you. If you're like kind of coming up, you said you were coming up behind him, kind of deal, talking to him. And so yeah, he is like, he would have backed you up back half a step, but you're like, dude, you need to get out of my way. Kind of stuff like that. Arliss, so you're making your motions towards that. It's like, hey, I'm gonna get you a drink, something like that. And literally, like, he's like turning up his bottle, and he just flips it and swings at you like that with the bottle. What is your dex modifier?
It's a 0.
It is a 0. It's just perfect. I crashed this bottle right upside your head for a solid 4 points of damage.
Damn.
It's going to bypass that flak vest because it's a vest.
Okay, I'll take it off the endurance. So that goes from 9 to 5.
Yeah, so everybody hears
the
so everybody hears the bottle just like crash right up against the Aslan's head. His eyes goes cross-eyed for just like half a second. He's like, I'm just like, he just hit me. and like everybody, like you hear the record skip, like everybody in the bar just like stops what they're doing and looks like, oh shit. kind of a moment. So that just happened, like smash. And I assume from that point on, like it's going to be initiative rolls for everybody. Like, you guys are on the comms, you hear that and you're like, that didn't sound good.
What's going on in there?
Exactly. So everybody roll 2d6, add your intellect or dex bonus, your choice, and then punch them in the chat so I can keep it straight.
Okay, I've rolled a 7 and I get a +2, so -9.
Got it. Okay. So those of you that are outside, you still will keep your initiative roll that you put in the chat, but you're going to be acting around later. Like the guys will be coming in from the back, and the others will be coming in from the front. So this first round's going to happen, and then you guys will all jump in. Pull your stunner. Good job. So yeah, we're going at the same time. Cahill, you and I are both going. Like I am basically jumping off the stool and pushing the little guy towards you. You got your stunner out, pulling out your stunner. You can try to attack him with that. He's basically kind of like a snapshot, almost kind of a deal. But yeah, you can still like swing this, hit him with the stunner if you want. Punch pulling guys all of us. Oh man, it's about to get real. 6. So yeah, you basically hit the little guy. You're like, the little guy gets in the way. You hit him with the stunner, and he just, we're not even rolling for damage. He just like sinks to the ground right in front of you. Just, any way that this guy could possibly get in the way, he has succeeded tremendously. So he's like, basically like little Ruby Rod, just kind of just like, screamed and like fall into a puddle right in front of him. And yeah, he's like, pushing and like making a beeline for the back door, kind of a deal. Doesn't know that the other guys are, literally going to be meeting him in the doorway in the other side. So Arliss, what was your initiative roll? I didn't see that.
I've rolled a 7 and I got a +2 for intellect, so it's 9.
So yeah, you're right behind him. You can act now. You're like, glass and stuff stuck in your fur. You're not happy. He's just jumped off the stool and is like making his way towards the door. He is still within arm's reach. He is still within melee, but you have to act now.
Okay. I think rather than using Gauss pistol in a busy place, I'm going to use stunner.
Just a rip.
Crack. I love Gauss pistols. They're so cool.
So rather than using my dew claw, which would make even more of a mess of him, Stunner range 5, so there's no penalty. Rolling a 7. I don't know.
7 on the stunner. 7 on the stunner. You got a dex bonus, or
I don't have a dex bonus.
do you have any
Wait a second. What's my
guns?
gun? I have a gun combat skill of 2 though, so that becomes a 9.
9. Yeah, I don't differentiate between the different types of weapons if they're pistols. I do more like pistols and rifles more than energy weapons. Some people scream at me that that's completely wrong, but I just don't like trying to keep all that in track. So that is a hit. So like you zap him with the stunner. And it's not really that hard. It's almost more like you just like put it up against his back and said zap. It was actually only like a 6 roll. So you rolled a 9. So yeah, that's 3 for effect. Roll your damage, 2D.
Oop, one of my dice fell on the floor. Okay, so I rolled a 2 on the one die, and the other is also a 2. So that's the stunner is 2d plus 3, so that's 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. And is that another one, another 3 for effect? No, another 1 for effect, or
3 for as it. Yeah, for each one you've done over your on that is damage. Yeah.
I thought I only had 1 for effect.
Back me up on that, Greg. I'm pretty sure it's like for damage, it's like each one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think because you only made it a 6 check, yeah, so it was a 3 effect.
Yeah, like for test,
it's 6 because of the range. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Okay, so that's 10 damage.
Yeah. So
and a traitor stun, whatever that does.
So it basically means all you have to do is take out his endurance, and he drops. Instead of having to take 2 stats out before he drops, you just have to knock out his endurance. It's much more effective weapon. It won't kill him, but it will drop him. And it's exactly what it's done. His endurance was exactly a 10. So you just bring him down to 0, and like he's like running for the door, and like boom, down he goes. Like he falls like almost at the door as the other 2 in the back were at the back are like opening the door. He like literally falls in front of you guys as you're opening the door.
Okay, so I say to Cahill, book him, Dano.
Book him, Dano. Nice. We're crossing the streams. I love it. Excellent. So yeah, at this point, like Imperial Naval Security is going to be kind of superseding the smuggling, the stowaway charges and stuff like that. The smuggling stowaway charges and stuff like that. So Cahill and Arlo still have more of a claim on Breton Valancourt than like the other 2. Like the Imperial Navy wants to talk to this guy. They have an Imperial warrant out for him. So it's like Cahill and Arliss are like, now you guys are also welcome to watch the interrogation or anything like that, and compare notes about the other 2 or anything like that. But Cahill and Arliss will be like the arresting officers as far as taking him in, getting him booked, doing initial investigation. The girl and the young girl is the woman and the young girl is nowhere to be seen. But you got like 250 pounds of unconscious ex naval officer, ex Navy not officer but soldier collapsed in front of me.
I tell my colleagues from the other security services that although that we are taking them up to naval security, they're fully invited to participate in questioning.
Yeah, I mean, I think we need to be, because clearly they have inside help here on the station, so we need to know for just general security purposes.
We absolutely need your help is what naval security is saying, and I'm a captain, so
Absolutely. So let's take a quick 5-minute break to do whatever we need to do. Come back and we will do the interrogation. We'll be in space jail Navy Imperial Space Jail, and have Arliss and Cahill conduct the interview. If you're more comfortable with one of the others to kind of be sitting in with one of them, that's entirely up to you. But we'll be back in like 5 minutes, guys. Okay.
Okay.
No worries. Cool.
Hey, Anthony, is it like 3 o'clock in the morning there? Something like that? Yeah, you're still muted.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Yep.
That's about the right time to be eating pizza, I guess. Sure.
Yeah, cold pizza.
Yeah, looks good, man.
Yeah, no, it's I had a birthday party at a friend's house, and I was up late anyway, so I thought I may as well jump on this.
Do either of you fancy playing good cop, bad cop?
I'm always bad cop. Gonna punch him in his bad arm.
We're going to do play good cop, bad cop. Play bad cop, even worse cop.
That's what always inevitably happens, isn't it?
Sorry, I stuffed up there at the start with the who was from which branch there, KO. I had it in my head that you were Starport Security.
Yeah, I think he is. I can't
No,
really remember what I'm doing.
Cahill and I are Imperial Security.
I'm not doing a
right
very good job with my partner.
Right now, we've got jurisdiction, and I think that I'm going to be asking Greg to smooth over things as Cahill with our superior, who's a commander.
All right.
As I cover up for whatever the rest of you do.
Well, he resisted when we tried to arrest him.
Oh yeah,
that's why he's got a broken arm. And that cut across his face.
He's rather lucky that I didn't, use my Duke Law on him.
Well, at most, Aslan consider that to be very dishonorable, actually, to use it.
You want to use that when you're in a duel, not just taking some random guy in the pub. Hey, Anthony, are you in Perth? Yeah.
Yes, I am.
I grew up in Perth. Whereabouts are you?
I'm just outside of Fremantle.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I actually was living up in the Kimberley and moved down here
right.
middle of last year, which is when I decided to get much more heavily involved in role-playing games. When I had a bigger clientele base of people to mingle with.
Nice. Seems like Zombie Apocalypse kind of got a lot of us back into it again.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Welcome back, Matt.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I built Lurking Fears on, my gaming group. I kind of had broad strokes plans for it to be a gaming group at conventions, right before the pandemic hit. And those 2 years, like where there was no cons happening, I used it to build. I talked to different publishers like, Matthew Spring at Mongoose and Busiest and others, and they're like, hey, I know a lot of you guys are in the UK or stuff like that, and it's going to be hard, if not impossible, for you to come to cons in the US in any foreseeable future. We love running your games. We love to run your games at cons like at Origins and Gen Con, the two of the bigger cons here in the States, and make sure that your games hit the table. And they were all about it. It's like I said, I have like a stable of like very professional GMs that's been running games for years. We all know each other. We all, trust each other's competence and professionalism as far as running games. And, it's like I have all these people who are well vetted that can run a multitude of different systems and can learn new systems fairly easily. And so we charge each of these companies like a flat rate to run a session at a con, and they're all jumping for it. They're all like, nobody's doing this. I'm like, I'm surprised nobody's doing this. A few companies have like their own in-house GMs, like Dungeon Crawl Classics has like their GMs and stuff like that run demo games and stuff like that. I think Baldwin Games runs a lot of games for like Wizards of the Coast and stuff like that. So I try to branch out to the other games that are out there that again don't see a lot of play at cons. I'll go at Origins and Gen Con, I might see 2 or 3 Traveler games, and I'm like, this is Gen Con, people, come on.
I had to get people to play Traveler.
Yeah,
my lifelong battle. What you need to do is get D&D players and convert them subtly over time.
Yeah,
exactly. Exactly. I mean, that's what I found is like, everyone that I've ever discussed Traveler with, it's like they love it or they've never heard of it. And it's just amazing to me. I mean, everybody's played Star Wars, either Western games or Fantasy Flight or anything or stuff like that, or they play Starfinder or some version of some sort of space opera. But yeah, if either they've either played Traveler and love the hell out of it, or they never heard of it. So I love introducing them to them that way. I'm like, they're all like, well, what's it like? I was like, if you watch The Expanse, and they're like, yeah, that's Traveler.
Yeah.
So if you like The Expanse, then you're going to love Traveler, because that is it in a nutshell.
Or Firefly.
Firefly.
Yeah.
You can allude to Babylon 5. I mean, a lot of those great, sci-fi shows of the time. Not so much Star Trek, Star Wars, anything like that, but definitely, like the fringy, the gritty kind of stuff like Firefly, Expanse, stuff like that. Yeah. Before Expanse, I was like, you watch Firefly? You're like, yeah, it's Traveler. Love doing that.
Okay, we're waiting for Scott to come back.
Yeah. Wait for Scott to get back in here.
Yeah, I just find that sci-fi has got so much to offer. There's a much broader scope than fantasy, I think, and it's really nice. As I say, I've only been playing Traveller since the middle of last year, but I'm loving it and really branching out in every direction with the game. So,
is there a lot of gaming clubs down there in Australia, or just kind of you lone operator?
No. So I'm with a little guild, and we operate out of the Esplanade Hotel in Fremantle on Facebook. Rob, you know the old Esplanade Hotel.
Yeah.
And it's a 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons guild. But when I moved down here, I decided to play sci-fi, take a break from the D&D, and I hit up the boss and he said, "No, go for it if you want to do that." So I've pretty much been advertising my game with a little written blog, and getting players like that. So I'm getting people that are interested in playing sci-fi, and I've developed a pretty good core little group playing on a Thursday night. So
yeah, that's cool.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm looking for Scott. I'm not seeing him back yet, but.
So I've been bottled, and I think that I'm going to ask Cahill to take charge of operations as we move to our base. As I basically need some medical care to check I haven't got a concussion.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're getting kind of taped up a little bit. Yeah. You're gonna go. You'll definitely have to drop by the infirmary.
They're going to have to shave you down so they can put stitches in.
Yeah. Put one of those collars that goes around after, so it stops pulling the stitches out.
Oh, exactly. But the cone on it.
The cone of shame.
The cone of shame. That'd be awesome. You see you walk around, everybody just starts giggling. You're like, shut up. Nice. Nothing like a little speciesism. It's not Traveler. There's not a little speciesism in it. So yeah, they do fix you up though. Like 3 of the 4 points that you lost, you recovered. Basically, you just kind of like have a slight ringing in your ears, and you're a little sensitive to light still. But other than that, you're okay. You're only down like 1 point. But yeah, you're spending some time in the infirmary, getting patched up by like the auto doc. You're like, oh, that looks bad. That looks bad. Yeah. There's like a little slight crack in your cranium there. He got you good. I mean, if he had something more serious than a beer bottle, he'd have brained you. So yeah. We'll just drop Scott back in when he comes in. But yeah, we assume KO's sort of taking the lead investigation. Do you want to pull one of the others in there with you?
Yeah, who's got some good skills that could back me up with interrogation? Do we have that here? Do we have interrogate?
I don't know if anybody has interrogate. I know there's persuade and deception out there.
I've got 2 points in persuade.
There we go.
I've got 2 points in bludgeon. You might need that, Phil.
He'll sit there with the stick. He sat there with the stick. I seen a picture. Somebody sent me a picture of like one of like security guards that has the nightstick. This big beefy dude, and like he is nearly twisting the stick in half. I'm like, holy crap! He had somebody. They're gone. They're just gone. Yeah. So I think we had somebody good with persuade. Is that Gertrude or?
Yeah, go try. Yeah.
He'd be a good backup there, Cahill.
Yeah, I'm gonna need it
Okay,
after that roll.
got it. Trying to see if I had a pick of him here. Give me just a moment.
Do you want me to throw that persuade?
Yeah, you better.
So yeah, basically you're walking into the he's like cuffed to the table. It's very industrial kind of like area, steel walls, all kinds of stuff like that. You guys are sitting on metal benches and chairs that you basically pull up. But yeah, he's basically handcuffed to the table there. Kind of gruff, grizzled kind of a dude. He's got like a fairly square, heavy set kind of a jaw. Dark iron gray kind of beard with some white whispering in. Kind of stuff like that. Scar down his cheek. He's definitely seen some action. Kind of a rough customer there. And he's just looking at you guys, and he comes in. He goes, "Finally got me. Finally got me. All right.
My persuade's not great.
Not great. Okay, so 7. It's not.
7.
I mean, he's definitely seems to be amenable to talking. He's like, so it's the difficult. You're almost there, but not quite there. So you're kind of meeting in the wet middle there a little bit.
Do you need a stun stick to Andy?
Hand that off to him. But yeah, you're kind of meeting in the middle there, honestly. Like he's basically he's gotten that I'm tired of running kind of a vibe that he's giving out, and you're establishing your authority, but you're not quite sure why you're here, why he's here. The Imperial security want him, but you're like, and it has to do with some sort of incident, some sort of war crimes that happened on the Zodani frontier. But again, everything's redacted. So you're like, if you're trying to talk about anything like that, you don't have a whole lot to go on. If you want to talk to him about the woman and the young girl, you might have some more place to talk.
We'll definitely pursue that angle and basically say we're quite curious as to the lady that you were with and the child. That child did something unusual to one of my colleagues. Pretty keen to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm sure it was self-defense kind of a thing. Poor kid. We just me and Estine, we just feel bad for the kid. She's just been abused. She's been abused, neglected. She was, kind of forced to do things by other people, and we had to get her out of that situation. We had to get her off that planet.
And outside of character, psionics is illegal, in the Imperium. So
highly illegal. It's like recruit or shoot. It
doesn't mean though that the Imperium doesn't run research stations outside of the Imperium for research purposes, but within the boundaries of the Imperium, it is illegal.
Yeah.
And I think Trey is probably a little bit a little bit jaded as towards psionicists and a bit careful and scared.
Especially after your initial encounter with them wasn't the best, There's nothing more frightening than psionics in the game, man. I mean, because there's no save. If I make my roll, we're done. That's what's so scary about it. It's like whatever, dude. And that's
And
why
so
it
we're
provoked so much fear. Yeah.
yeah, and so what's your purpose in being here?
Basically, yeah, we had to get that girl off that planet. Give me just a moment. I'm trying to get back to where I was. Uh,
What?
yeah, we had to get her off. And I'm uh, we had to get her off Sorrel. Uh, it's just a bad place. Just definitely a bad place. They were using her for her abilities, to get what they wanted, and treating her bad. Just they had her and several other girls and kids of that age using them like thieves and stuff like that. But once they found out what she could do, they they were definitely not doing great things with her. When she came across me and Nesty, and we just felt sorry for her. We had to get her out of there. We heard that there was a contact that we can make here to get her to an institute, and that's what we were trying to do.
Like an underground railroad kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who is they? Who it was the Imperials or Zodani, or who was abusing this girl?
Oh, the natives on the planet on Sorrel. There was like uh, I want to say mafia, but like
Local
basically
local organized crime.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were using her, to pluck targets and stuff like that at the starport and other places. Yeah. But they clothed them in rags. I mean, you see what she was wearing. Fed them scraps. They barely kept them alive. So it's just to keep them in, um, you know, needing and wanting more. So once me and this team bumped into her, we knew right away we had to get her the hell out of there. So we jumped on the first ship we could find.
Yeah, I'd be tempted to take some of the guys aside and say, kind of feel like I want to help these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
We got to find her first.
psionics is illegal. I mean, the right thing to do is to turn her into naval authorities, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
By law, yeah, and
I don't want to facilitate and enable the fleeing of a known psionic user within the Imperium. I don't
that's
care
the law.
how. I mean,
We have
I
to
don't-
find them.
Yeah.
What happens to them isn't really our problem, but it's our job to track them down and bring them in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
You're right.
hide.
I'm being too soft.
Yeah.
well, I mean, look, we can tell this what's this guy again is Breton, right? Breton.
Brenton, yeah.
We could tell Breton that hey, we can ensure that the young girl is not mistreated and taken care of, but we can't let a psionic user be running around loose in the Imperium. So
I know, man. I should have known better. Nesty should have known better, but we had to get her somewhere. And this if I knew this place was coming to Glisten, we wouldn't have jumped on the ship. But yeah. I mean, just tell me you'll help her, man. Don't let nothing bad happen to her.
we're not going to kill her, but I mean, but we do.
We're not gonna kill her.
But we got to make sure that she's dealt with by the proper authorities, which is, I think, at this point in time, probably naval intelligence.
Yeah, it's Cahill and Gartrauer's kind of thing.
Yeah. So as the local naval intelligence guy, I think we should, in fact, try to help her find her people. What can you tell us about the contact that you're looking for?
It's like, well, we were supposed to meet somebody here on the station named Jimmy, and she was going to take us to her contact.
Is that Jimmy with an I?
Jemmy with a Y, Jemmy. The girl that you guys talked to earlier, the space tramp. Yeah, we were supposed to meet her and talk to her. She was supposed to get us to where we needed to go, but we came across you guys and we had to book it. We knew our backup place was to go to that station, and hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, they got there just before you came there, and I told them to go hide out. We passed like a little. He's trying to kind of remember the word. He's like entertainment place, the amusement park. There's like a little amusement center to go hide out there till we figured out what was going on.
Something I just thought of. Do we have access to psionic shield, to helmets to block that girl? Because I mean, there is equipment to block psionics, right? So maybe we need to bust some of that out before we go after this girl, because otherwise she's just going to knock us all around, right?
Okay,
like ragdolls.
What happened to me? We need to wrap alfoil around our heads.
If I had to if I had to make a fair guess, I would say this girl has telekinetics, and maybe at a very high level, because she knocked you right on your ass, right?
Well, yeah. Other than that, yes, yeah, definitely just bop. Here's the trick. You can requisition sonic equipment. It's not like standard issue. You can requisition sonic equipment, but there is a litany of paperwork that involves with that. Like, why are you getting it? Who are you pursuing? Yeah, who do we need to get other people involved? Blah 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 blah. I mean, red tape city starts coming out. You can do it, and honestly, by all means, you should. I'm just letting you know that's going to happen.
Has anybody got admin?
Yeah, has anybody got admin or advocate even? I'll even allow advocate.
I've got advocate.
Advocate, yeah.
And I think I might want to try that, because I feel these are victims, but I might make a shit roll.
We'll see. Let's see how it goes.
Anyone?
Oh no, I didn't.
Nice.
11. So that's a +1 for advocate, makes it up to 12, and then I might add something.
Something better than alfoil.
So I've basically just come out of the the head trauma ward, and I say, hey, you didn't have to hit me with that bottle, and I am so sorry for having to shoot you in the back with my stunner. But it sounds like, from what I've been receiving from my colleagues, that you really do have a genuine situation, and I'm able to make decisions. We can work this out, and there is a facility on Regina, which is a long way away.
Yeah.
I'm aware of, that will actually take people that have, let's call them special powers.
I accidentally turned off the record button on the interrogation room.
Oh yeah, the record button's off on this one.
Erased. yeah. Okay.
But it's in my power to recommend that 10-year-old girls get recruited by the Imperium for their navy, because that's what we do.
There you go. And he's
creepy.
like,
very creepy.
Yeah. It is creepy. It is a little cringe, but it's better than the alternative, shooting her. So yeah, shooting her down like a rabid dog. That's our options. Recruit or shoot. So he looks at it, he goes, man, at least I know she'll be taken care of. I mean, I'm better than she was there. She goes, he goes, yeah, I mean, you got me. She's, she and Esty, they're in the like the amusement park, basically station area just off of the Hab block. It's basically like a giant, like an entertainment center kind of place, so like an arcade. They have like some rides and some games that you play. Shoot the Zodani kind of stuff like that. kind of stuff. Whack Zodani or whatever, whack a Varger. I don't know, but kind of stuff like that. Different games, but yeah, it's like they were hiding out there, till we could get better contact.
There are safe zones for psionics.
I'm sorry, say again.
There are safe zones for psionics in the Imperium.
Yeah, there are safe zones. They were trying to, one, just get off the planet, and then two, once they got off there, try to figure out where they needed to go. And so they're all like, I'm glad, I kind of ran into some decent people here. I appreciate you guys, willing to help us out. And he's like, if there's anything else I do, I mean, you got me, and I'm willing and able to turn myself in, and face the music that I have to do. But just if you can help her, that'd be great.
What was your crime?
Well, honestly, they had said that I had gave the countermanded a captain's order and launched metagenic weapons against the Zodani outpost, which is technically war crimes. War crime that I was, that I had launched, metagenic torpedoes against the planet. But actually, I know that's what the records say, but I did everything I could to stop him. He was the captain of the vessel I was on, and I was trying to stop him from launching the missiles. I know what the record says, and that's why I was drummed out. And actually, as they kept investigating it further, I was already released, and I ran. I was already discharged, so I booted. I think I tried to countermand the order to launch the missiles, and
how are you so fit?
He says I've always been like this. It's genetics, I guess. I don't know. I've always just been,
jazzercise.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a mechanic by trade, so I've had to lift a lot of heavy stuff. But yeah. But no, I was, it was my turn at the gunner station that day, and I'll regret that day for the rest of my life.
Okay, that's lots of my questioning. There may be other questions from my colleagues.
Any other questions? Anything else?
I think it's time that we help deliver the child.
We need to find her, though.
Yeah. Well, he's got you like in an area, like an amusement park, and it's not a big amusement park. I mean, it's
If we roll in there by ourselves, they're going to scatter like roaches. So I think it might be a good idea to have him come along with us.
Oh.
And we'll have him restrained, right? When we'll have him like cuffed with his hands behind his back. But we can have him walk along with us, and he can kind of yell out to them like, "Hey, it's okay. They're going to help us out."
Well, I think restraints on a tech level 15 world are probably slightly different. So he's free to move his hands, but we've got some kind of
neural cuff his hands in front. I mean, whatever. I mean, but don't just let the guy go loose without some means of restraint. That's
you can basically put like the dog collar, he's down. You know,
Sure.
And I
I
think
Yeah.
also it would be great to have the grav bikes in case
Of course.
people bust them all away. Come on, we need the chips. We need some chips
Come
action
on,
here.
man. Come on.
We need graph bikes. That's for certain.
So what we need is 2 grab bikes, a shock collar. That's what I'm hearing. And a man portable plasma cannon. That's what I'm hearing.
But yeah, let's take him with us, so that way they know that, hey, you know, we're not gonna. He can at least say like, hey guys, they're gonna help us out.
You can wave them down, kind of stuff like that. Yeah. All right. So yeah,
Did we roll admin for the psionic helmets?
Arliss
Psionic
did
shields?
really well on the advocate on that. Basically, he knows the guy that runs the storehouse for that, and he just like, hey, why don't you go take a coffee break, kind of a deal, and goes and grabs like 6 psi collars. Basically is what he does, and that will block like any telepathy going on. They cannot lock onto your brain, and it will prevent any sonics operating within like 10 meters of you. And basically, like if you get within 10 meters of someone, it gives them like a really bad headache.
And we can also spot any droid on the loose.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just in case.
They just start screaming. Blood comes out of their eyes. You don't know why. That's really odd. Yeah. So we all get side collared up. Again, we got Cahill, and I'm gonna go back to the stream there. Did we just lose Scott? I don't know what happened. I'm not seeing him come back in.
Yeah, Scott hasn't come back.
I just started on the roll and talking. We must have lost him.
Yeah.
But anyhow, so we got Arliss and Cahill again, plain clothes again, and the rest of our guys are there. So we got Ponch and Baker flying in on are you like patrolling the area on your sky bikes? Your grab bikes? That's what we're doing.
As long as they have like chopper style, big front wheels.
Yeah. Like Judge Dredd, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense. But yeah, they're like hovering and you got wheels. It just absolutely makes no sense. But
we'll patrol. Wearing sunglasses.
So you're patrolling in the perimeter, got your motorcycle helmet on.
Yeah, sunglasses.
Yeah. So like
we're inside.
Exactly. So yeah, like your guys are on patrol, basically just kind of doing like a perimeter kind of a deal around the amusement park, and the amusement park's about the size of like some of you might not get this, but like I want to say about half the size of a soccer field. It's not very, very big, but it's big. It's big enough to get lost in. You can't see across. It's so full of like rides and attractions and stuff. You can't see across it. You have to kind of like go in it and stuff like that to really see what's in there. So I imagine like Cahill, Arliss, like Gertrude is probably like doing internal sweeps in there, while like Ponch and Baker are like perimeter, and that's what I'm guessing. Unless you have another plan, absolutely let me know.
I'm just thinking about like a sensor, handheld sensor or something like that. Do we have anything that can sense heat signature or whatever?
Well, I mean that's the thing. That's you're in an amusement park. There's tons of heat signatures.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Good place to hide.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can pop one. You can have one with you if you get into like an isolated area. Pop one out. Like runner, kind of deal. Yeah, you can definitely have one like that. Now I'm going to slide past that. But yeah, you guys are otherwise just using just patrolling the area. Again, it's not a huge area. The 3 of you guys can cover it internally fairly quickly, while Ponch and Baker are like watching the perimeter on either like on opposite sides, constantly patrolling, flying around in their tricycle. You can make a circuit around this thing in like 40 seconds on the grab bikes. You guys are like clipping along at a good pace. It takes right at about a minute to make a perimeter sweep. So yeah, so you're doing your deals. Give me your recon rolls, guys. Everybody that's out and about.
What's the is it intellect?
Yeah, and I'm going to roll for Breton as well.
6.
So I rolled 6 and it's +3, so that's 9 for me.
Got it.
8 for me.
Got it. Baker's good. Punch is good. Nice. Now, Breton, big guy that he is and everything like that, like his adrenaline has like left him. He's been running on adrenaline like the past couple of hours. One to escape, two to hiding out, fight kind of deal. He is like, plus he got zapped. I mean, he really got him. Like he just basically put that stunner up his spinal column and said, kind of deal. He is winded. Say like that. So like he's like having to stop and kind of lean up against the post every now and then, or like lean on a counter or whatever like that. Whenever you guys stop to look around, he is like, he's whooped. You're like looking at him, you're like, he's no threat. And like, you don't even make deception rolls or anything like that. He's not fronting. He is whooped, But yeah, you guys are all looking around, and there's like almost like a carousel kind of a thing, around the middle of the amusement park kind of a deal, with all kinds of different weird creatures and stuff like that on this carousel. Some look like seahorses, some look like gazelles. That damn hexapods going around the gazebo is going around. But yeah,
some hivers.
Exactly, some hivers. See, that's just wrong. That's an intelligent race, sir. but like on the far side of it, like between as they're moving around, like you caught like a glimpse of Nesty, like near like one of like the skill things, like toss a ring or something, like a ring toss kind of. The tech level 14 version of a ring toss game. They're like all little like subdivided little tent cubicle kind of deals, like 10 by 10 kind of areas. And you just see like her kind of peek around like one of the tents, kind of looking around for someone. Let's see if she notices you. She does not notice you. It was Baker, that Baker and Ponch, you both picked up on her. And you kind of make a motion towards Gertrude. Gertrude picks it up, and then Cahill. Like she's, you're seeing her like between the motions of the carousel. She's on the far side of the carousel.
Yeah, so we just get on the radio and just spot her and let everybody else know on the radio on the comms that, hey, we've got the girl spotted on the carousel.
Got it. So, Ponch and Baker, do you dismount and go in, or you drive your jet bikes in, your drive bikes in?
I'm gonna stay on my bike.
Well, we'll drive in as fast as we can.
Going down the thoroughfare.
We want to look cool when we turn up. I mean,
papers and stuff are flying. Kids are getting out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, everyone out of our way.
Do you turn the sirens on?
No, I don't think we need to go that far.
Okay. So that's decent. But you're cruising through there a little faster than you should. You might hit a kid if they don't get out of the way. But yeah, so like you're going down through the different thoroughfares. You're basically coming from opposite ends, trying to meet, where this is going to be at, kind of deal. Ponch, you got eyes on her. Baker, you definitely got eyes on her, and you relay it to the others. So yeah, there's like a cluster of tents. There's like about 8 or 9 tents that are like in a cluster, kind of like the little pop-up kind of a deals, that basically turns this off into like separated cubicles of different games of chance. And she's like ducked her head out in between two of them. There's a really narrow kind of like walkway, just big enough like you would have to turn sideways. You bigger guys would have to turn sideways to go down this passageway. And but she's like poked her head out, and then she sees, let's say Baker. Baker's coming up closer on the bike. She sees the bike, and like her head darts back in the little alleyway, kind of a deal between the games of chance.
I see ya, everyone.
So yeah, so she's
down the alley.
Yeah. I'll try to sketch it out for you here real quick on the camera. How it'll show on the camera, I have no idea. But,
I wish we would have brought stun grenades, but
yeah, we're past that now.
Flashbangs or something. But
I was just wondering whether we just, literally we've got what's the name, Breton. If one of us just approaches kind of empty-handed and try to talk, stop her from running, explain the situation.
Need to offer her lollies. Sweet.
So yeah, if you're looking up, like up at the top is like the carousel, and here's like these two rows of games of chance, and there's like a little narrow alleyway in between them, kind of like in the backs of the games of chance. They're facing out, and she's just like ducked in, and you guys are coming in from like those where the arrow marks are coming in, and you see her just there. So yeah, is that your plan? You're going to use Breton as like we're cool?
Well, I think the plan is basically to have them come towards Breton and me.
Okay.
Like that's the escape route.
Yeah, I mean it's the only way they can come out. So you're going to be on like the far side of the little alleyway to meet them.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, that's literally like what happens. Like you're coming towards the opposite end of the tiny little alleyway with Breton in tow. Is anybody with Harless at the opposite end? I'm assuming no. Okay. So you're walking with Breton, and Breton's like, "Calm down, Nesty. They're with us. He's like hands up, kind of stuff like that. And Nesty's like jerks up for a second, and the little girl, comes up right behind her. She's got like really stringy kind of like, dirty matted blonde hair. The little girl does. Nesty's kind of got like a shock white hair cut real short, with a little bit of like a curl kind of stuff on top, kind of like what I got. But all like platinum, blonde kind of a deal, white. She's jerking up short, and like she was like reaching for a weapon underneath her jacket, and she's and like Breton's like, hey, we're cool, they're here to help us, kind of deal. And she stops for like half a second.
I assume the grab bikes have like an intercom or something, and I get on and I just yell, I'm like, "Ma'am, we are not here to hurt you, but if you draw your weapon, you will be shot."
And that's coming from behind her. You guys are like at the top of the thoroughfare, and of course it's well within earshot. Like Arliss can hear it plainly, even with the feline ears. But yeah, and Breton's like, calm down, and she. Arliss, make me a investigate roll.
Is this for anybody?
No, Arliss is the one that's facing her. I was asking about
I rolled an 8, which gets a number of pluses. It gets plus
Got
2
it.
and plus 2.
So you're looking at her like you're like hand on your hip kind of a deal. You're ready to draw down as well. And she's looking at you, and she's focusing on Breton, and then all of a sudden she's focusing on somebody else behind you, and her eyes get wide, and she draws, and she's aiming like back behind you. Now nobody else sees what she's seeing. Arliss, whatever it is behind you. All everybody else sees is like her drawing, and like Arliss and Breton's right in front of her. So we need initiatives and seeing what we're doing.
Okay, 2d6.
Yes, 2d6 plus your intellect or dex bonus, your choice.
Mine's 11.
I'm gonna roll for me and Breton, and actually I should roll for the girl too. Let me roll for the girl. Man, I'm loving these Deep Night Revelation dice here. They're not sucking. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Joey, Punch Dismounts has auto pistol. Now you're like at the top of the little alleyway there, Punch. You're honestly almost all of you, the rest of you guys are like at the top of the alleyway, but you're closest in, Punch. I would assume you were because you were doing all that. Everybody else, you guys can like fan out, come out the sides. Really, only one person can come down this thing. So I assume that's going to be Punch. You know, if the others want to follow or fan out, come around the sides and kind of flank them. That's an option as well.
No, she's turned away from me, right?
Yeah,
and she's aiming at something. She's aiming at something like that we can't see, but she's locked onto something, right?
Yeah, she's drawn down. She's drawn out right in front of Arliss. That's all you can see.
Okay.
From where your vantage point is,
Does it look like she's not aiming at Arliss, right? But she's aiming in his direction, maybe behind him or in front of him.
Yeah, I'm not allowing like a recon roll. All you're seeing is like your fellow officer's getting, he's in front of her and she's drawing. It's like, it's hard for you to see from you're looking down a funnel.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm at least just gonna just have the pistol out and draw a bead on her.
Got it. So Gertrude's flanking around. I would say left. Cahill, what are you doing? You going to go right or are you going to follow Punch? Greg? Did you want to look? I'm going to say Gertrude's going to flank around and go left around the tents. Are you going to flank around and go right or are you going to follow Punch down the little walkway?
I'm going to follow Punch.
Okay, so you're going to be right behind Punch. All right. So that's all happening. So Punch is 12. So you actually have, looks like the drop on everybody here, Punch. Arliss, what did you roll? Did I see that? Arliss, do you have a roll for me? An initiative roll? Did we lose Arliss?
Well, he's quiet, but he's still in the.
He's still here.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. Let me holler at him in the. I got a thumbs up. I don't know if that's him. That's the one downside to this, any kind of online role playing. When we lose it, we lose it.
Oh, there he is. 11.
Excellent, 11. So you're right behind Breton, and you're seeing her. You're the only one who can see where she's aiming at, and it's behind you. What are you doing, Arliss?
Me?
Arliss, yeah.
Oh, okay. So I thought we had the 12 initiative first.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I saw Punch basically. Yeah, 12. He told me that he was holding out. I'm sorry. You're right. I wasn't focusing on that. He said he was behind her. Can't quite see what she's aiming at. What are you going to shoot her, or what are you going to hold at action, kind of see what's going to happen, or what?
I'm going to hold and wait to see what she's, because I'm not because I mean, okay, this is just a little bit like off screen, but like in my head, I'm thinking like, you know what? There's more players than just us and these three fugitives, right? There's got to be somebody that they were supposed to meet, that Jemmy was supposed to take them to. So I'm thinking in my head like, hey, maybe there's someone trying to get a hold of them away from us. So I'm thinking maybe that's who she's aiming at, but I'm not sure. So I'm just going to kind of hold off. And again, I'm going to keep my pistol trained on her, but I'm going to hold my action.
Got it. Okay. So she's holding action. Good. And then now we're at you, Brighton. Again, she's aiming at something like right over your shoulder.
Okay, so I guess that if I'm one of the 11s, but I'm close.
Yeah.
I'm going to spin around, and speaking as an English teacher or teacher of English, I'm going to say, "You shall not pass."
So if you're spinning around, you're seeing like four thugs, four thuggish kind of guys, all armed, and they're all drawn, and they're all like right behind you, and they're like their eyes go wide when they see you spin around, like they were expecting to walk right up behind you and just boop, and they're like, oh shit, kind of a deal. So yeah, you're spinning around, and you're seeing these four. They're all drawn down on like all of you.
Okay, so I've got a Gauss pistol. Can I draw that while I'm spinning?
If you didn't already have it cleared, I'm going to say you're going to spend your round clearing it and be ready to shoot next round. But you'll be able to, you'll have your dex mod because you're spinning around, kind of ducking down, kind of deal. You're going to be harder to hit.
That's fine.
You'll clear your weapon, kind of stuff like that. So yeah. I mean, it's the closest thing I make sense of. We didn't say we had weapons out or anything like that. So, but we'll go on that. You're spinning around. Yeah, you're spinning around, kind of a deal. So yeah. Nestine sees anybody else beat. So Rick went on 12. Punch went.
I held my action though, right? So
yeah.
Do I now see these? Are these thugs now visible to me?
Make me a recon roll. It'd be a really cool recon roll. I'll be honest with you.
Okay. All right. I got a 7 plus I have 2 recon, so a 9.
9. So yeah, as he spins around and kind of goes down, he clears like a line of sight for you, and you do see one like drawn down. So you're hold. You can literally just blam.
I'm gonna unload my pistol into one of these thugs. Nice.
Are you going auto? Are you using auto or one shot?
Is there a die modifier to go full auto?
From what I remember,
I don't think so.
Remember, you just roll 3 times.
It's just an auto pistol though, so I'm assuming it's semi-auto.
Yeah, you can roll.
So I can fire one. So I can shoot one round, right? This is an automatic weapon, so
yeah.
So I can shoot once. So let's go. And I miss. So the shot just goes wide right over these thugs' head, and goes into the roof and probably ricochets off of something metal, right? So they definitely know that shit got real all of a sudden.
Blam, and it was an auto pistol, so it's like a loud blam. It's not like the crack of a Gauss pistol. It's a blam. All right, so he's going stop. G-set, blam. Kind of like that. So yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's see. Cena is going to like grab Nestine's hand tighter and just scream. And just like scream bloody murder. Arliss, you're like right in front of her, and you're like your ears just like almost start bleeding. Like you're spun around, trying to draw your pistol, and all of a sudden you're hearing the girl scream, and it's like filling up every sense that you have. And you're I need you to make me an endurance check.
I rolled a 10.
10. So you're just able to stand on your feet. Like it doesn't mess with your equilibrium too bad, but you're like, whoa, you got a little shaky for like a minute. For like a second. You almost fell again. I remember a Gertrude wasn't one that fell before. But you're almost like, whoa. You're like you're it definitely messed with your sense of balance in the ear canal. And the others, everybody, I got to roll for everybody else in that area. It's like a 10-meter area. It's just outside of like Ponch's range. So Ponch, Cahill, Gertrude, Baker, you guys are all okay. You're all outside the range. 2 of the guys, like they just grab their heads to the side of their head. Like they drop weapons and they're just grabbing their head, kind of a deal. Other two are like getting ready to shoot. Breton, he stands. He's stoic. He goes and like gets ready to like fall on the kid. He's like right in front of him. You know, as you guys are coming out, he was in front of Arliss, I believe. So he just basically just like does like that kind of deal. Like he's gonna cover the kid with his body. So he's just like boom, kind of deal like that. So that's happening. Let's see. Our next initiative, I think, is 7. Is that right? 7.
I got 7, I think.
Yeah, Baker. So yeah, you're flanking around, I believe. Or were you right behind Ponch? I forget.
I was backing up Ponch. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're right behind Ponch. So you see that he shot at somebody. The kids screamed. Like 2 of them started to crumble. Arliss kind of shakes for a second as well too. But you got sight on one person behind them.
But I also have sight on the kid, right?
You have sights on the kid.
I'm going to shoot at the kid.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
I'm aiming for her leg. Something's up here. This isn't good.
If it hits her in the head, oh well, the gods have spoken, right?
I mean, you know, if dying, that'd be unfortunate, but these things happen, you know.
Oh my God. What a shit.
I would like to point out I'm aiming at her leg. So if I'm
that will make a die modifier a little harder.
It's a cold shot. Yeah.
If I'm a bad shot, that's nothing I can handle. Okay, here we go. What do I get? Oh, nice. 10 plus Dex bonus is 11.
What are you shooting her with? Your auto pistol. Oh my God.
With an auto pistol, yep. So I got an 11, not taking into consideration cover or anything like that.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You hit her right in the leg, right where you wanted to.
All right. Okay, so it's 3d6 minus 3.
That's her soft little childlike flesh.
She doesn't have that many hit points.
It's not very good. It's 5 minus 3, so that's 2. So it's hopeless, really.
Was it 2?
Yeah, it's only 2 damage.
So yeah, like you basically like creased her skin.
I messed up her socks.
Well, you were trying again not to make it a fatal shot, and it just makes.
Yeah, no, I didn't want to take her out. I just.
So yeah, you basically creased her skin. You probably more like burned from the bullet passing by her calf than the actual damage. But yeah, like, and she stopped screaming. So that's good.
Like, stop that noise.
You're like, whoa. So yeah, she stopped screaming. Oh my God, that was a choker kind of a minute right there. I was like, oh, he's shooting the kid. Oh my God. In the leg. I'm just gonna wound her in the leg. That's all. Oh my God, that's horrific. So I think the next up is 5, which are my thugs. I forgot to shoot from Nestine. Nestine shot and got one of the guys on the way down. She has like an auto pistol as well. Wait a minute, no, she has a Gauss pistol. She's Navy. So yeah, she has a Gauss pistol. That guy, one of the guys that went down from the screen is not getting back up. Basically, is what happens. Like she just boom.
Scared him out.
She's a commander. She knows what she's doing. But so she's and you're shooting somebody from like 6 feet away, if that. Yeah, they're down. So that one guy is definitely not coming back up. Cena did scream. So my thugs, I have 2 thugs that are up that can act. One of them is going to shoot at Nestine. Will hit. Jesus. Nestine goes down. You see her drop. Yeah, that's what I love about Traveler, man. It's violent, right? It's like you're in trouble. You get shot, you're in trouble. Let me verify. I did not have her stats, but that was a lot of damage. I didn't have her stats written down.
She wasn't wearing any armor?
No, she's wearing like plain clothes. Wait a minute. Oh, wow. I didn't realize her endurance is that high. So she is still with us. She has a crazy high endurance. She ain't no joke. All right. So, yeah, she probably like gets down on one knee kind of a deal. She gets shots, solid. But she's like, kind of deal like that. So, yeah. So, good on her. And then we have final Gertrauer at 4.
So I'll come running around the side of the tent, hearing all these shots fired, and seek out these thugs. Can I take a shot at them?
Yeah, Cahill, did I miss your initiative? I didn't see it. I want to make sure I didn't miss.
Yeah, I didn't roll it. Sorry.
Go ahead and roll it before, because Gertrauer seems to be the last. You both were flanking.
2d6 plus what?
Plus your dex or intellect, depending on what you're doing. If you're acting physically, dex. If you're acting mentally, intellect.
It's 15.
15. So yeah, so you will go before him. You guys were coming around the flanking around the tents, I believe. So yeah, you're coming around the right, and then we'll go to Gertrauer. So actually, you would have acted first, but we're going to assume since you had to go around there, you're second to last. Gauss pistol out. That's fair. So yeah, you seeing all that just happened. What are you doing?
Do I have a target?
There are two people. There are two guys behind Arliss that are up, that are aiming at like Nestine and the kid. You seen the kid get hit by someone back in the little alleyway. You don't know what bastard did that, but we'll deal with that later. But yeah. So you have the two thugs.
That kid did something to me.
Yeah, Brett.
She looked wrong at you? Or?
Yeah, Brenton basically falling down on the kid. Nestine shot and got shot. So
I'm going to shoot at the larger target.
One of the two thugs, like one of the larger thugs.
Yeah, the bigger, whatever's the bigger target. Whether that means they're
good.
closer to me or they're a bigger target. 1 + 1 is 2. Okay, let's see. You're gonna make a roll here. 8.
8. All right, so it's a straight damage roll.
It's Gauss pistol.
Gauss pistol. I think it's 3D plus 3. Is that right? Or 3D? Sorry, 3D.
So 3D.
Yeah. Holy crap! So yeah, the large target, which isn't really much bigger guy than you, he goes. He gets hit with that hypersonic dart, and down he goes. He's not dead, but he's down. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the higher tech level one. They are 3d6 plus 3. So he goes down quick. And now we're down to Gertrauer, and there's one guy left, one thug left.
I might go full auto.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can roll if you're using the auto pistol. Is that what you're using?
Gauss pistol.
Oh, Gauss pistol. Okay. Yeah, it has auto 2, right?
Auto 3.
Auto 2 or auto 3?
It doesn't have a number.
It's armor piercing 3, which means you neglect 3 points of armor, but it's auto, which I think you can engage 2 or 3 targets that have to be adjacent to each other, right?
Let me look it up real quick. I know it has an auto rating. I think it's an auto 2.
I'm trying to find it in the book quickly.
Same here. My bad. I didn't put it on the weapon.
No, you're right. It's all good. I've got it here. So, Gauss pistol. It's auto 2.
Yeah. So basically, what you can do is you can make 2 different shots, or you can add the auto rating to the damage. Your choice.
I'll take 2 shots. I want to make sure that I hit.
Got it. So you're like, crack, crack.
So first roll is a 10.
10, good. That adds 2 to the damage.
Second roll is a 9.
9. Okay. Second roll is a 9. That adds 1 to the damage.
Cool. And I'll roll for damage.
That's
So
3d6 plus
dice.
3.
Plus 3. Okay.
Yeah.
14, 17.
Holy crap.
And 13. 16.
No. So we got a little splatter punk here for a minute as hypersonic darts like sever the guy's arm off at his shoulder. Takes out his knee. Crack, crack.
I always wanted to do that. I've been
Right.
traveler. I've been jammed.
Gauss pistols are my favorite. That's my go-to weapon. God, I love Gauss pistols. They're so cool. I will throw away a laser pistol before I get to a Gauss pistol, man. But they're so awesome. But crack, crack, and like the shoulder like explodes, like the knee explodes. Gosh, needles traveling at Mach 3. It impacted the soft flesh and in the bone. Those 2 are down. Those 2 are down. That one is dead. He is dead. Like he's bleeding out before you even get to him. The others are trying to get up and react. The other 2 one of the other 2 that was down. Nestine shot the one that was going down from the screen. So there's like one still trying to react. Get up and react, and I am going on punch. You'll be running down here by this time, and with Baker and him right behind you. So punch you with your higher initiative. Yeah,
I'm just going to take a beat on this last fool and unload on him.
Okay. We actually got to the second round. Holy crap!
Let me see. I gotta check see if I've got auto pistol. I don't see that. No.
What?
I don't. He's not trained in auto pistol, so I'm gonna. It's just a straight.
Should have gun combat, shouldn't he? I didn't get punch gun combat.
I'm just checking here. Oh, you're right. He has a +1. Sorry.
No problem.
So I rolled a 9 plus a 1, so that's a 10.
10. All right. So that's +2 to damage on the roll.
Okay. So auto pistol is 3 die 3.
And then if you're like I said, if you're unloading to him, you can add the auto rating of the weapon to the damage.
So it's 13. So I rolled a 13 -3, so it's a 10. So 10 damage.
10 +3 for the auto rating of the weapon.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So 13. So like he goes down. He's not dead, but he's down. He goes down. He's trying to raise like his gun up. Still,
I just run over and I kick it out of his hands.
Run down. No. Kind of deal. So all this saw was happening from right in front of you. Like you were just reaching out, trying to work through the stun damage basically that the kid did, and Punch big action hero that he is, flashing his brilliant smile and his gorgeous curly locks, kicks the weapon out of the way right in front of you and stuff like that. The smoke clears, the battle's over. Nestine's like getting up and she's like like gun out like this, and Bretton's like, calm down. Calm down. You're here to help us. They're here to help us. And she puts weapon down. And this little girl gets up, rubbing her knee. Ow! My knee! Ow!
Who shot me?
Who shot me in the knee? Oh, must have been one of those guys. Must have been one of those assholes. Must have been one of those, like, there's a lot of guns shooting
Wow, it's dangerous. You know?
Poor little girl got caught in a firefight. Damn. He took the second part of that recruiter shoot.
So are we out of the fight now?
Yeah. The smoke is cleared. The the gunfight is over. They're brief. There's if they're not wearing like tons of armor, which these people wouldn't, they're thugs.
We need to approach and let the woman and girl know that they're in danger, and we need to take them into protective custody.
Got it.
Come and sit on the back of my motorbike.
I'd like to make a persuade check, but I realize that I might not be the best one to do that as a pussycat.
I mean, you're furry and cute.
Yeah, I can be.
So I'm gonna try to be furry and cute, and I'm gonna roll. What I roll?
Persuade.
5.
Yeah, don't worry about him. He's not with us. So.
Bad kitty. Starts climbing up Nesty's leg. She's like, would you mind? But yeah, so basically, you were slapping the cuffs on them, putting them in custody, kind of like everybody in the park like hit the dirt, as soon as the firefight went on, and it lasted like 10 seconds. It's quick and brutal and over, and it's over before everybody even knows what the hell happened. And so like people are coming up and they're seeing you cuff these people and are like, GSEC on the job, all right, yeah, go GSEC.
Hey, so Ponch is gonna roll some of these guys over on their back and have a look at them. Does he recognize any of these guys?
Streetwise?
Yeah, streetwise. I have +2, so no, I failed.
Got it. Nobody you recognize. No.
I'll check him out. I'll check him out as well.
Okay.
Oh, 10. 11.
11. Awesome. So yeah, they're definitely wearing like some tattoos and stuff of like a local gang that's kind of up and coming. It's not it's not an older established gang. Ponch didn't recognize it, but you're like, oh yeah, I just saw them on the sheet, last week and stuff like that. To be watching for these kind of tags, kind of stuff like that. So yeah, they definitely are like connected, somehow. They're definitely like thugs or some sort of organized crime or something like that, some sort of gang. Definitely have that that feel coming off of them.
We better radio in for the paddy wagon.
The paddy wagon. He said paddy wagon.
Bring him in.
It would be more like meat locker.
Yeah, that's it.
So it wheels around and you're hearing all Zebo inside. Oh, wait, you're all kind of wrong, meat locker. come around and get to you.
Don't worry about that other guy.
Oh, yeah, no. Arliss is like, are we getting dinner? Are we getting dinner? I was like, wait, where are you going? So basically, yeah, you get like a bigger wagon, a bigger vehicle, ground vehicle, put them all in. I'm sure you're separating the your three from the thugs and kind of stuff like that. So yeah, and as you guys are bringing them back in for questioning and stuff like that, Cahill and Arliss, you were my Imperial Navy guys, right? I keep having to remind myself.
We are, yes.
Yeah. So you're getting flashes across your screens that really kind of countermand the orders that you already have. And it's really odd. Like all the redacted stuff that your documents that you were seeing, those are gone. And now you're seeing new documents come up that, show that he is cleared. And his discharge is changed from dishonorable to honorable. What is it? Not stipend, but his retirement money.
His pension.
Pension. Thank you. God, I could not get it out. His pension's reinstated. and so are you relaying this information to him or?
Yes, absolutely. And I'm saying I appreciate this very much, and I do need to talk to the admiral.
Absolutely, and basically, yeah, that's like the things that are going on. Like the admiral, you're wanting to talk to them, and like the big brass in charge here on the station is wanting to talk to you. It wouldn't be the admiral. I would say it's more like something like, I don't know, Commodore or something like that. Um, would be here on the station. So you're able to, like the biggest brass. So like he's granting an audience with Arliss and Kale. My GSEC and my station security guys. You get a flash about Nestine, and from your headquarters, from where you started like this whole investigation, started booking, getting all the booking and stuff done, and they have a flash, and they're like, come in and talk to the captain. We need to see you, Captain, regarding Nestine Brummer, and and this, they're wanting a name on the girl. Do you supply the name on the girl?
Yeah, I give it to her.
Got it. The name of the girl is Cena Carson. Nestine is that's her name, Cena Carson with a K. So yeah, so basically, you guys are kind of brought into like different offices. Ponch, Getrower, and Baker are brought into like GSEC offices, and Cahill and Arliss are brought into naval intelligence offices. Let's do Cahill and Arliss first. So they bring you in. And Breton's brought in with them. And they have like found some sort of Navy uniform that would still fit him. Pulled it out of a mothball somewhere, and he comes marching into the office with you in uniform, still all grizzly and everything. He barely got in the shower. He didn't have time to shave, but he's coming in uniform, stuff like that. And Commodore is coming across. He's a very lean, gaunt kind of person. Probably Villani. He's really, really tall. He gives you that really, kind of a feel like of a Villani person. He uses very, very proper English, so you're like, oh yeah, yeah, kind of stuff like that. So yeah, he brings you all in, and he's like looking at flimsies and stuff on his desk. He's bringing him basically into his office. He's like, thank you, gentlemen, for bringing in Able Space Hand Valancourt. I'm glad to see that you were able to bring him in uninjured. Whew. It looks like you guys have had quite a day.
Well, it was an interesting day, and I believe that we've identified an asset.
Come again?
I believe that we've identified an asset.
An asset towards
combating the Jordani influence.
Oh, you mean the girl?
Well, yes.
Yes.
She should be kept safe.
Yeah, she's sedated. He just says it flat. He says it's flatly like that. He's sedated. She's sedated, and she's going to be taken to a center for re-education and control. Breton's looking at you like,
I have served in Regina, and I'm aware of a re-education facility there, and I highly recommend, sir, that you assign both the child and her two guardians to Regina.
Oh, we'll deal with Nestina Brummer separately, but yes, we are very interested in having Mr. Valancourt's testimony in the upcoming trial against his former captain. Mr. Valancourt, do you agree to these terms? And Mr. Valancourt's like, is the girl going to Regina? He says, I'll make sure the girl goes to Regina. And he's like, as long as I've got that, and I'll say whatever I need to say. He's like, the truth. I just need the truth. What happened? He goes, done. So basically, he rubber stamps everything. And he's like, Cahill and Arliss, you guys have done a great duty in the name of the Imperium here today. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, these servants of the Imperium that are not simply, the Imperial Navy clearly is the best, but
of course,
it's incredible how well these local servants have worked with us.
And you did seem to have quite a bit of good contact and influence with the people here in Glisten. Again, you're being commended on that, handling this highly dangerous, volatile situation basically on your own.
It wouldn't have been possible without the assistance of the local forces.
Thank goodness for GSEC, right? Yes, GSEC and Starport Control. Some great people there. Absolutely. I'd like to see you and Cahill work more closely with them on certain situations like this that might pop up in the future. Cahill, is there anything I can do for you? Greg?
No, sir. Thank you.
No, sir. I am here to serve, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
I serve the Emperor.
I serve in the Emperor's will. Exactly. All hail. All hail. Exactly. But well done. So he is going to basically set you guys up as part of a joint team with these others, to be an elite squad to look for any sort of situations like this. Be like, I guess you've been elevated rank, have like actual officers rank, and like specialists in like custom starport control. Basically, is what you guys are going to be, like your own little unit. He says, I'm going to get the red tape rolling to see that done. Dismissed. And Breton turns around. He's like, I'm getting my pension back. Oh, this is great. This is great. The little girl's gonna be taken care of. This is awesome. Thank you. And he's like, yeah, you guys are outside the hall, and he's like shaking your hands, and he's like, thank you guys so much. I'm sorry about what happened there with the ear but yeah, I thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. Anything you guys need, you let me know. First round's on me at the last gasp tonight. It's first round's on me. So, without any further ado, we will move on to the captain at GSEC, and then also like his opposite number at Starport Control is basically going to be meeting again in the GSEC quarters. So we have Ponch, Gertrauer, and Baker there, and you're coming up with Nestine, and yeah, the girl is like taken away, and like we're gonna have to like sedate her for our safety and everyone else's. They're basically just like, they don't put her in a cryo tube, they just sedate her. Like she's been through a lot. She's got injured somehow. But we'll take care of that. But yeah, we're going to make sure that she's not conscious. For a while. Just for her own safety and ours. And so yeah, they bring you basically into like their offices. The captain, Captain Breyer, he brings you all in. He's like, yeah, I've been hearing some glowing reports about what happened today. You guys have done a bang up job. Well, first we were a little concerned that you had lost these people in the starport, but from what I could see, honest mistakes were made, and you're dealing with a situation that's normally outside of your purview. I saw what happened with the girl there. Are you okay? He's like, yeah, you still got like a little bit of a goose egg where you hit the ground. He's like, but yeah, he's like, do you all have anything to say before we make our formal statement?
Oh, no, this girl is a hazard, though. I'm glad she's sedated now.
The mind
Be
witch.
wary.
We're wearing on the mind witch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ponch is basically just like, yeah, I'm not a big fan of, of scions. Put her on ice. Put her on ice.
Nice. Gachar, you got anything to add?
Yeah, I'd just say that yeah, she's dangerous, but she was had fallen into the wrong hands, and our our naval officers here have rescued her from that. So to be commended in some strange regard for that.
I understand. And so they're looking at you and they're looking at Nestine. They just like raise their focus on Nestine and like, so Commander Brummer, do you have anything to say? And she's like, I regret nothing. So that this little girl had to be saved. I'm sorry that we had to be stowaways on the ship, and cause all this trouble on the station. But whatever it took to get this girl to a safe place, me and Valancourt decided, that's what we're going to do. And because I regret nothing of what I've done. And so the captain's like, so I got a order here from the Commodore in the Navy asking for your reinstatement, Nestine. How are you about that? And Nestine's like, I really have no interest at all in being reactivated. She's like, from what I've seen, from what's happened to people like poor Breton and others, that even those that weren't dishonorably discharged, it's like the treatment of ex people, of ex officers and service people in the Navy and the other services are well below standard. So I'm grateful for the eyes that I have from suffering my accident that I had in the service of the Navy, but I really don't have any interest in being reactivated. And so he's like, well, the Commodores recommended that a large part of this transfer of the girl to Regina is going to be dependent on your reactivation and be her, I guess for want of a better word, guardian. You're going to have to watch after her. And she just
that's exactly what I was about to say. Escort.
Yeah. She obviously trusts you, and Valancourt as well. Valancourt's glad to be out, and he's past reactivation age. But I think he'd be glad to join you as well as a civilian to see her on safe passage to Regina. And he's like, if that's what it takes, then yes, I live to serve the Emperor. Basically what she does.
I'd like to discuss with my superiors.
Yes,
that they can get medium passage.
Oh, wow! See if you can negotiate that. Make me a persuade roll.
Okay, so I got a. What's the skill on that? The characteristic.
I'm gonna go with social or intellect, your choice.
Okay, so I rolled a 7 and I got a +2 intellect and a +1 persuade. So
all right, nice. So yeah, because of all the eyes that you guys have got and like news flashes that you guys have done, about settling what happened in the amusement park so quickly and safely, focused everything in that one area. There's not a whole lot that they can do to say no. It would be, it would certainly put them in a bad light. Yeah. So yeah, 2 medium passages to Regina. Three medium passages to Regina. Yeah, that definitely would be in order. Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be glad. We'll be glad to do that on behalf of the Imperial Navy.
and the Imperial Navy will be extremely happy with their new recruit.
I think so.
12-year-old.
I think so. Nice. So you guys are getting the pats on the backs, and there's like a little ribbon ceremony kind of a deal, decorations, for gallantry and bravery, and all that fun stuff. And you get to get the applause from your fellow officers and comrades in the services. And that's the game. That's the game, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys so much for joining us, gentlemen. Hope you all enjoyed it. It was again. Thank you. It's a slightly different take on Three Blind Mice. I think Three Blind Mice really dealt with them being stowaways on the ship, I think, and you had to find them. And I was like, well, what happens when they get off the ship? So and have to get through Starport patrol as stowaways. I'm like, it's the first time I've ever run a game with like everybody with the same background. All of you basically space cops. Varying degrees of space cop. So I kind of dug that. It might have been limiting towards some of you as where you guys could go, but I applaud your all's efforts. You guys did a job. You guys did very well. Everybody, round of applause for all of my players who did a very, very good job. Excellent. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. And as we continue on with our May Day celebration here through the weekend, thank you, Greg, for putting this on for us. So much fun.
Right.
And we'll be playing more games throughout the week.
All right.
Thank you for GMing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It was fun. Hope I meet up with you guys again in the future.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed that game.
Thank you.